Hey everybody! Welcome back to the ABCs of RPGs, where we teach you the basics of tabletop role-playing games. I'm Spencer Reese, I'm going to be the Game Master for today, and we are playing Dune, The Adventures in the Imperium, the Dune RPG. If you've been watching, Dune Part 2 just came out. If you've watched Dune Part 1 or Part 2, this is a RPG set in the Dune universe. A lot of the beginning adventures kind of have you starting off actually on Arrakis, some even before the events of the book, and that's where we're going to be kind of taking place today. But before we get any further, let me go ahead and introduce my players. Let's go ahead and introduce yourselves, your characters, and a little bit of backstory for your characters. So, Christian, why don't you take it off?
Yeah. So my name's Christian. I will be playing. My character is Arachne, and Malek is her last name. And Arachne is actually an assassin, a part of the Assassin's Guild or whatever you'd like to say for kind of the secret organization behind the scenes of our house, Abgrity. And Arachne's really main goals has several different drives. Is really just like main goal is to acquire power, and then through that, kind of has the idea of becoming the master assassin within the house. But that requires, quite the trial, and basically assassinating his master. So, not the easiest thing, as the master assassin has been in the house for over 70 years now. But he's getting old and tired, and perhaps the spice on Dune can help Arachne in this endeavor. So maybe we'll find out more about that. Maybe we won't. But it's a little bit about me and my character. Let us hop on over to Justin. How you doing, Justin? Are you there?
I am. Yeah. So my character's name is Anna Margrave.
I love how you're faded into the purple right now.
Like on Teletubbies, where the dude is just part of the sun or whatever.
Oh, yeah, it's the baby.
You're like a purple mushroom planet right now. That's who you are.
Is that better?
Yeah.
That's like way better. All right. Well, yeah, I wasn't looking at myself. Sorry.
No, you're okay.
My character's name is Anna Margrave. I am a Bene Gesserit novice. And so the Bene Gesserit are kind of like these space witches. If you're not familiar with the Dune mythos, they're space witches.
Oh yeah.
And I report back to their version of the papacy. But that's fine. Like, everybody knows I'm going to do that. So
yeah,
they need something specifically hidden from the space papacy. They have to hide it from me, or maybe not. I don't know. It kind of depends. But yeah, I have extra human abilities.
Ooh.
I can control my body. I can make it look like I'm dead when I'm not.
You're a ferret.
Huh? I'm a ferret. Yeah, I'm a human ferret.
Wow.
Yeah. Wow. I think my stuff particularly centers around hyper awareness and like extra sensory stuff.
Mm. So being able to perceive things better, or at least your environment around you.
Mm-hmm.
That's pretty cool. Well, awesome. I think we only have Nye left. So Nye, you want to introduce yourself and your character?
Hey, that's me. I'm Nye. I'm going to be playing Shara Fell. Shara is one of the premier characters in the Quick Start campaign. She is a Mentat. For those unfamiliar with Dune lore, similar to there being space witches, she is a human computer. The people of Dune universe do not use computers or thinking machines. They use people that are capable of being computers. That's me. So Sharafel just got out of Mentat school, which that's the verbiage they use in this. Calling it Mentat school feels very dumb. It feels very weird to call something like
Mentat Academy?
I don't know. Just feels weird to call
The
it school to be like a literal
It's the
supercomputer.
Mentasium.
Feels weird.
Yeah, call it the Mentasium.
Yeah.
But anyways, just got out of Mentat school and is here, part of our house, trying to make a name for herself and, help the house grow as best she can. Not a super emotional person, which is befitting
Of a Mentat.
a computer. So, yeah. I'm excited.
Oh, perfect. Well, thank you.
Do you think they're good at parties? Like a Mentat? I feel like they're not good at parties.
I mean, I feel
They're
like...
probably awesome at parties.
Yeah.
Dude, party games.
Yeah,
Take
I was
them
about to say, like, it depends on what
great
aspect you
counting
go.
cards.
So if you want to talk to them at a party,
with you.
that sucks. You want to watch them do, like, party tricks? That's probably pretty cool. Hey, man, what's 3,286 times 4,912? And they just,
Boom,
like,
they know.
give you the answer?
Yeah.
That's cool. That's a cool thing to do.
If train A is traveling at 20 miles per hour and train B is heading towards train A at 30 miles per hour.
Not even. Do you know what kind of cool stuff you can do with like physics? Like be like, yo, I can get watch this. I'm gonna shoot this ping pong ball off that table, off that, off that, and I know exactly how hard I need to throw it.
It's
Boom.
It's like
Splish splash. Mofos.
Robert Downey's like Sherlock Holmes. Like it just slows down to time and calculates every punch that he's gonna do.
Does every person
Exactly.
for every action they take at the party?
If I pick up this cup, it's currently a third of a way full of beer. Meaning that if I bounce the ball just right.
Exactly. Mentats.
Don't
Party
give me Coke.
animals.
Great at parties.
Coca-Cola. That is. I'm not referring to any sort of drugs.
Yeah. Yeah, Coca-Cola. Anywho. So, like always, I always ask you guys a get-to-know-you question for your characters when we start these sessions. And so, the get-to-know-you question, we already rolled for it. Christian, you rolled a 42, the meaning of life. And
I did, but that's cool. Give him credit.
Oh, no,
not hurt.
I'm sorry. What am I doing? I think I was
I did
messing.
not roll the meaning to.
No,
life and
it was
everything.
you gave us the meaning of life. Thank you. I appreciate it.
Bow to Nye.
All hail. So, the question, number 42, is, do you collect anything? So this is going to be answering from your character.
No.
Okay, so
No. Just no.
Sharafel does not collect anything.
Has no interest in trinkets.
No baubles. No. I would think that, like, a Mentat would at least have, like, a nice collection of, like, pencils or something. Like, something to write on. Or...
But see, to me, that's not a collection.
No, it has too
Like,
much of a purpose.
a collection is something you just, like, have for the sake of, like, having it. Like, I'm a college student. I like the feel of, like, a good pen when I'm writing.
Yeah.
And I'll, like, buy a special type of pen because, it's like, it's a nice pen.
Yeah.
I don't collect it.
You don't have like
No, I appreciate that. Like, I don't. Yeah, but I would go out of my way to buy a nice pen. When I was a student. Yeah. And when people are like, "Do you have an extra pen?" I'd be like, "No,
No. Sorry.
that's not an extra. That's mine."
Yeah, to me, a collection is something you have just because, like, it makes you happy.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I have a collection of wine, which is both functional and makes me happy twice.
Yeah.
Actually, I like looking at it, and then I really like drinking it.
Oh, I was about to say
Fun
like
that.
maybe like a collection of books, but even then, like Mentats, don't they just memorize everything? So they don't need books.
Wow. True.
No, they need a book one time.
One
Yeah.
time.
It's like
They
that
need a book
scene.
one time.
They need a library card.
That's what
That's what they really need. They need a library card.
I look at them like the robot in Short Circuit that just like flips through all the pages in like 30
Johnny
seconds.
Five?
Yeah, and then
I
they're
love
good.
Johnny Five. Do not disassemble Johnny Five. If you guys don't know what we're talking about,
Nope.
There's this amazing little film from the 80s called Short Circuit. And in this problematic but delightful film, it's a problematic but delightful film, a robot, a government destruction robot, it's like a lightning storm, I think, right, Christian? And he comes to life, and he comes to the understanding. You know, he starts to value sentience, and they're like, "You kill these people," and he's like, "I don't want to kill these people." He's like, "They kill you, the army's like, you kill these people," and he's like, "Well, I'll kill you." And then everybody decides to like be happy and just like chill, because Reagan and good vibes.
It's been a
But
while.
so I do like caveat. I don't really endorse this movie because there's a white dude doing brown face.
Oh,
Not
really?
cool. Yeah, the main dude.
I don't remember that. That's problematic.
Yeah, that is very problematic. So, I mean, it was the '80s. You know, I don't think like the guy who did it intentionally racist. I think he just wanted to, you know, make money.
Yeah.
But yeah, Fisher Stevens. If you go to his, he has blue eyes. And he plays an Indian man in Short Circuit.
Mm-hmm.
And it's I mean, it's not particularly like a poor portrayal of the Indian community. He is like a brilliant engineer. He does have an accent, and this white man is wearing brown makeup. So,
Yeah.
you know,
It's one of those things
We
where
can't-
we can
yeah,
definitely.
problematic.
Yeah. It's like watching Lawrence of Arabia and Alec Guinness doing the same thing,
yeah.
right? So, like Lawrence of Arabia, amazing movie, has some white
few
people
movies
playing
like that.
characters they should not. So,
Mickey Rooney in Breakfast at Tiffany's is not okay.
so
Anyways, do you guys collect things?
yeah. So let's move on.
I collect secrets.
Ooh,
Intelligence.
that
So
makes
that's
sense.
good.
Mm-hmm.
You never know what.
Answering in character. Darling, I collect secrets.
That's perfect, and that's.
And she has a transatlantic accent.
Oh,
Speaking of Audrey Hepburn.
does that come? Is that just because of where you come from, or
It's
is that
canon, darling.
It's canon. All Benny Gesserits talk like this. I'll have you know.
No, just on my planet.
Oh, it's
This
just
is
your.
the accent nice. This is the accent of my people, darling.
On planet Transatlantia.
Shoo shoo. Quite so.
Quite so.
Yes, and from planet Transatlantia.
Very nice.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Well, Christian, what about Arachne? Is that how you pronounce it?
Arachne.
Yeah.
You know, I'm just thinking now how that's very close to Arrakis, which was sad because I didn't actually think about that when I was like, oh, this is a good assassin name.
Who knows? It can be like a planet in the Arachnid system. Boom.
Oh.
Space problem solved.
Yeah, I mean...
Call up Warner Brothers and tell them I need a check.
Arachne really embodies the soul of, like, just a pretty empty, desert-filled planet. So, it, holds the name well. But Arachne is very, kind of agrees with, what was it, Emma? Is it? Justin? Your character?
Anna.
Anna,
Very
sorry.
close.
I know, no, she has like a totally normal name, which I love. I absolutely love, because people in Dune universe will have these absolutely bonkers last names, and first names like Paul and Anna.
No, yeah. We got Sherafel, we got Arachne, and then we have Anna.
Mm-hmm.
You are the normal name of the group.
It's the chosen one. What is his name? Tim.
Yeah.
That can't be right. No, look, the sacred text right here. T-I-M, Tim. His name shall be Tim.
Sorry, Christian, you're talking about your collection.
Yeah, well, in character, I mean, Arachne, I would say, often, is being an assassin. There's espionage comes along with that. So, similar to the Bene Gesserit, whom Arachne has, aided in the past. Gathering intel is definitely part of the collection, but I think even more so as a skilled duelist, fighter, Arachne enjoys, collecting the blades of his fallen enemies that had proven worthy of battle, although obviously lost.
Of course they lost, though.
Of course.
To Arachne.
But yeah.
Can I ask a follow-up question to Arachne then? For your opponents, what do you consider somebody who's worthy? Is it how strong they are? Is it that they gave you a tough battle? Or is it just the fact that you defeated a higher-up ranking foe?
I mean, a lot of times I think it can go into like higher ranking foes. It depends on where they come from, and if they have a history of being skilled fighters or not.
Yeah.
But a lot of times rank comes from being able to show prowess on the battlefield in a lot of different houses.
That's awesome.
But yeah, it's ultimately comes down to the fight.
Oh.
Not often do I put myself in positions, ideally, where I have to fight. But if I do,
you're ready.
I want it to be glorious.
Okay, Justin, I got a follow-up question for Anna. What's the greatest secret you've collected? Or your most prized secret? No, you're not going to tell?
Darling, if I told you, it wouldn't be much of a secret, now would it?
Game Master can't know. Nobody can know that one.
You cheeky for asking.
That's a good secret. And your follow-up question, has there been anything that Shara, even though she doesn't collect things, has there ever been something that she almost collected?
I mean, probably when she was like a kid.
Yeah.
I mean, I can't again, I'm not super familiar with Dune lore. I like to think that they have like normal fucking childhoods.
No. They just, they're
Nobody
lonely.
does.
Nobody has a
But,
normal
I also could
childhood.
be wrong. I don't know at what age you're like this kid could be a supercomputer. Let's start Mentat school.
Immediately.
I just can't. I can't help
Conditioning.
but think of like Doctor Evil's monologue. I grew up pretty standard, actually. You know, at age 12, I had my testicles ritually shaven by a Zoroastrian monk. You know, pretty standard.
Pretty sure. And with that, let's get into our adventure. So we are playing the quick start adventure in Dune Adventures in the Imperium. It is called Worm Sign. So, let's see here. So, just to let, before I read like the beginning statement, just to let everybody know, we have points called determination, and each player gets a point of determination. Now, when we get to momentum and stuff, I'll be able to display that on screen, but this is just solely for you. So everybody gets their own point of determination that can be used to, before rolling, choose one of the d20s in your dice pool. That die is considered to have rolled a 1 and does not need to be rolled. It thus scores a critical success automatically. You can also use the determination to, after rolling, re-roll any number of d20s in your dice pool. Declaration, before or after rolling, create a new trait, or change or remove an existing one. This must relate to your character, but it may represent something that which was always true, but which has only now been revealed or become important. You may retroactively describe how this trait came to be, or get an extra action. In conflict, immediately take an additional action after this one, even if you have already kept the initiative. So, everybody starts with 1 at the beginning of this. And just to let you guys know, even though determination is just yours, you have no momentum at the beginning. Your momentum pool starts at 0. We begin the game with 2 points of threat for each player character present. If we go back to the house rules, that actually determines usually how much threat you start with at the beginning of each game, because I think if we said, like, oh, you're a nascent house, you didn't really have, I think you get 0 threat to start with. But because you chose a house minor, it's supposed to be 1 threat per player, but the quick start calls for 2 threat per player. So we're going to start with me having 6 threat. So.
Oh, we should have just made a bigger house.
should have kept it small. Should have gone big. So, threat, just as a reminder, is kind of like the DM's pool. I can use it to buy d20s. I can use it to increase the difficulty of a challenge. A non-player character, a player character that I control, can do threat spends or complications. If a non-player character suffers a complication, I can buy that off by spending 2 points of threat. So if I rolled like a 20 on one of the NPCs, I can just be like, 2 points of threat, it's gone. So, and also same thing with, like, I can create my own traits and such like that. But, yeah, anywho, that's kind of like starting out. Usually before each adventure, you kind of like assign that kind of stuff and everything. So let me go ahead and bring all of you to the beginning of this adventure. Let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So I'm going to remove these 2. So it should only show 6 threat on screen. And let me hide all of the momentum as well. Whoops, didn't mean to hide the text, but... There we go. So you guys should see that there is no momentum for you guys, but like 6 threat. Everybody on stream, you're seeing my screen, so it should look opaque, but to the players, it should be no momentum and 6 threat for them, so. Oh, you can kind of see it, but we'll just do that. Okay. So, starting off this adventure, let me go ahead and read to you the intro. I already mentioned that your characters start out, you have made a contract with the Harkonnens, the current rulers of Arrakis, to, you made a contract to basically harvest some spice on the planet, and the Harkonnens cut you a deal with some of the worst harvesting land that they could offer you. So you guys are paying good money to get some spice, maybe because you really need it, but the land isn't that great. And so let me go ahead and read the little blurb for Worm Sign. The sun glares off the Ornithopter. The sun glares off the Ornithopter windshield as you crest over the immense stone wall that surrounds the city of Arrakeen. Before you stretches an ocean of sand, a vast desert that covers the entire planet of Arrakis. While the cockpit is air-conditioned, you can see the shimmer of heat haze rising from the waves of the dunes ahead of you, stretching beyond the horizon. You have set off today to investigate reports that a group of spice smugglers might be operating in an area your house has a contract to harvest spice. It is your job to find their base, and if possible, put a stop to their activities. However, spice smugglers can often have useful contacts, and occasionally the loss of a little spice can be worth a new ally. So yeah, so your characters are in Ornithopter right now, flying to the suspected smuggler base, because that's what you have been given. You know that it's probably camouflaged and hard to spot, so we pick up in the aircraft, and one of you is piloting the Ornithopter. So, who is probably piloting the Ornithopter? Oh no! We lost Nye!
Oh, well, that's too bad, because I was going to recommend we have Nye do it. Okay.
Did we have somebody that had a personal ornithopter, or was that changed after our session?
I think that was
characters.
Justin's commander character, but that was...
Oh, okay.
Yeah, that is changed now, I believe.
Because I was going to say that probably them. Unless they have a pilot that does it for them, or flies it for them.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, surely, oh my gosh, is it Shauna? No.
Anna?
Shara. Shara.
Oh, Shara fell. Yes.
Shara. It's just like as read about piloting an ornithopter, and it's like good to go, right?
We can hope so. Welcome back, Nye.
I'm on my phone. Apparently, my Wi-Fi just shit the bed. So.
Great. Well,
Bed pooping Wi-Fi.
Yeah. Darn it, Wi-Fi. Christian was
just
going
clean
to
the
suggest...
sheets. Sorry.
Christian was actually going to suggest that your character probably would be piloting the Ornithopter. Did you hear all of that?
No.
Okay.
I heard. So here's what the blurb says, and then it immediately cut out.
Oh, you didn't get the blurb?
No.
Oh no!
So we're in an Ornithopter on the way to check out this, suspected spice smuggling operation. The rub of the whole thing is whether we either come clean or we let it slide, because if we let it slide, the smugglers might be better ally. It might be better to have them in our pocket than it would be to just put the kibosh on the whole operation.
It's true. I'm sure some infiltration would be in order.
Yeah.
Plus, we make poison. So, oh yeah, let's say this. My character is originally from this, village that we're all from. And I came back as, our,
Bene Gesserit
representative. Yeah, our representative for this organization. So that way I can kind of keep it, take care of it, make sure I'm doing justice, not necessarily enforcing whatever codes.
Yeah. No, that's awesome.
Okay, yeah, so anyway.
We lost Nye again. He might be switching back.
That's okay. So the Bene Gesserit And then so let's continue on.
Yeah.
Because I got, most of it.
Yeah. So the important thing to know too is that remember how there are the different stats that you have for your characters. So on your character sheet, you have, for the skills, you have battle, communicate, discipline, move, and understand. And whenever you make a test, you take one of those skills, depending on what kind of test it is, and you're going to pair it with a drive. So the move skill is going to be tied to piloting the ornithopter. So whoever's going to make this test, it should probably be, or could be, the person with the highest move, or just the one that makes the most sense narratively. So.
Wait.
I'm happy to operate, but my move isn't that great.
My control of myself and the things around me might be able to help. So I have prana bindu conditioning. So whenever I attempt a move or discipline test, which relies on my control of my body, which I'm going to try and just keep the thing steady and balanced.
Yeah.
And treat the ornithopter as like an extension of my body.
Mm-hmm.
I am gonna.
That sounds great. Before you roll, too, we talked a little bit about how the dice roll system works, but in case anybody wasn't here for session 0, essentially, each of these different skills are going to have a number, like battle, communicate, discipline, move, understand. So, Justin, if Anna is piloting the ornithopter, you're going to make a difficulty 0 move test. So, first off, what is your move number?
It's only 4.
It's 4. Okay. And then you're going to pair it with a drive. So there's duty, faith, justice, power, and truth. And yes.
I'm going to roll duty because we are being sent on a mission, and if Prada got us up and running because they knew how the machine worked, and then they just had this like seizure, and now they're dead. So I gotta like get us the rest of the way there. So I'm just gonna try and like understand how bodies work and like guide us the rest of the way there and keep it steady. And I'm just gonna like grit my teeth and do it, and because I have to do it for our what is it? Clan, family,
RPG,
house,
your house,
house.
Yeah. That's perfect. So Justin, you already have a clear idea that you're doing this for duty, you're doing this for your house, which is interesting because like in the quick start, it actually says like make sure each player kind of decides on a drive that they want to use throughout the entire mission, because each of you are probably going to use a statement tied to that. And it gives some suggestions for that. So, yes?
Awesome. So my statement says that my duty can be owed to many places. So
perfect.
Duty is a big thing for me, and I'm balancing my duty to like my immediate team, the Bene Gesserit Order, and House Appreci.
That's perfect. Yeah. The other suggestion was going to be down here. If you weren't sure what you could use I follow the orders of my house, simple as that. But I love the way you worded it. So that's awesome.
Oh, no, my statement is duty. My duty can be owed to many places. So I'm just playing into that.
Yeah, that's great. So.
Okay. So, rolling that. So that comes to a total of only 12.
So you roll, how many dice did you roll? Because remember, for this test, it's a difficulty 0. So you just it's just going to count however many successes you get. And it's going to add that to momentum because you're flying the craft. So you get 2 d20s first. So you're going to roll 2 d20s always.
Okay, cool. And I can re-roll one of them if I need, is how the Prada...
Because you have determination. Yeah, there is no momentum in the pool right now, because nobody's gotten momentum. Nobody's rolled more successes than they need for the difficulty. So you can't buy any more d20s, but you always get 2 to roll first off. So yeah.
That is correct. But what Justin is saying that I believe it's a talent that allows him to do that natively.
Oh, the Bene Gesserit
Yeah,
talent?
yeah. If I need to, I can re-roll
Yeah.
one of them.
Oh, perfect.
If I
Yeah.
roll poopy. Oh no, but wait, that's bad.
You got an 11 and a 9. What was your total from both your move was 4, right? What was your duty?
It was a 4, so it was only a 12. So 20, but 20 is like a crit fail, right?
No. Look at the individual dice. It's adding them together. You got an 11 and a 9.
Oh. So I got an 11 and a 9.
Yeah, so what your total, so you said it's a 12 in total, so you have 8 for duty?
I have 8 for duty. Yeah.
You have 8 for duty. You have 4 from your move. So the goal was to get 12. So your goal was to make sure when you're rolling these two 20s, you're trying to get 12 or lower. It's a roll under system.
Oh, I have 2 successes then.
Yes,
Yeah.
you do. So because both of them are under that 12, you're good. You get successes for both. And so you get 2 successes. Since this was a difficulty 0, that you didn't have to get any successes for it, but because you did, you guys are granted 2 momentum dice to kind of help.
Woo!
So now those are in your pool because you got 2 successes there from there. So now you guys have
Sweet.
the shared momentum pool, which anybody can use to grab to like add extra dice to whatever checks they're making and all that kind of fun stuff. So
And add extra threat.
and yeah, or you can buy d20s to add to the threat. Correct. Yeah. So it should be noted you can have a maximum total of 6 momentum. The threat has no limit. So that's something good to know. So
Sweet.
but basically, Justin, how we can kind of look at this is that Anna uses her Bene Gesserit talents to basically, even though your move isn't that good, because of your concentration, your and your training, you're well enough to pilot this Ornithopter, and the generating the 2 momentum will help out for anything that's kind of helping, like that the other guys might have to do, or even yourself, because basically, what's up next is as you're piloting in, and your Anna has her steady hand on the controls. Next up, you guys are at the spot. So you like crest over like a large sand dune, and you kind of see, you're like looking out, and you're trying to spot any signs of the smuggler base. So everybody can make a difficulty 2 discipline test. So what that means is that everybody can attempt this discipline test, and you need 2 successes in order to succeed. So everybody rolls at least 2 d20s, and the numbers that you're trying to, the numbers that you're adding together, one has to be discipline, and then whatever drive you want to add. And yeah.
Okay. And then what are we doing here with the why are we making the roll? What is the
You're trying to spot the base. So you kind of like crested over a dune. Anna, Justin, your character is like flying the Ornithopter and keeping it level. And now you guys have crested over, and you're thinking this is near where you think the smuggler base is. But you're trying to spot it out here in the desert. So that's why everybody's making a discipline 2 test, a difficulty 2 discipline test.
Okay. I am again going to say that my drive in this duty is we are trying to accomplish the mission, and I am trying to spot this.
That's perfect.
From the Ornithopter.
Yeah.
And I need 8. And you said discipline?
Discipline. So whatever your discipline is.
Nice. 14.
Ho ho! So this should be pretty easy for you.
Hopefully.
Well, you already rolled, but or maybe you haven't yet. But if you wanted to add any of the momentum you got earlier, you could.
No, I'm just gonna go for it.
Cool.
16, I think is not worth spending momentum on.
Yeah, it's pretty high for you.
And I still roll 2d20, right?
Correct. You always get 2d20s to start.
Oh damn!
You only got one success. Yeah.
I still got one success.
Yeah. Christian, so you rolled really well.
How often can I use talents, by the way?
I don't think there's a limit. I think as long as you can justify it.
Oh, cool. Then I'm going to use my Prana Bindu conditioning, and I am going to warp the shape of my eyeballs like an eagle does to give myself some telescopic vision to re-roll that 19.
Oh, wow.
Wow. Does that work with just any discipline roll?
Amazing.
So whenever you attempt to move or a discipline test, which relies on control of your body, you may re-roll a single d20. You can perfectly control your breathing, heart rate, and your internal organs. So I'm going to shape my eyeballs.
That's cool.
Because that's an internal organ?
Yeah. Yeah, I'm kind of.
I'll allow it.
Right, is this creative enough where you're like, yeah,
no,
go ahead,
that's you'll find Dune is pretty like narrative driven. So like anything you can kind of justify it, you're good. So you re-rolled that 19 and got a 12. I think that's 2 successes for you. That's great.
That is 2 successes.
Before we kind of like finish out with like this test and everything and get the results, I do want to go through both Christian and Nye's kind of like roles and stuff. So.
No, that's fine. That's fine. I want to use the powers I have.
That was fantastic. I love that, Justin. That was so cool. So I like to think that both of your other companions are just like looking out, and your eyes just start to like.
No. It's like barely perceptible. Like eagles can actually do this.
That's so cool. So then, yeah,
eagles can like move their eyes a little bit forward to look better.
Oh,
I think.
Sweet. That's so
Their
cool.
eyes might just be shaped like that, but I think they can kind of like control it a little.
That's neat. So Christian, you got some good rolls. You got a 9 and a 1. Before we kind of go over that, I first want to know, so you had your discipline. What was your discipline total?
My discipline is 5.
And then what drive did you use?
I chose justice, just because my statement is those who wrong us will be brought to justice.
Yeah.
So as far as we know it right now on the surface, I feel that, finding this place and stopping, on the surface is what we know. If they're smuggling, spice from us, they're wronging the house. So,
yeah. No, that's perfect. I mentioned that like in the quick start they give examples if you want to use different like statements or needed help picking like a statement. So for justice they just said like smugglers are criminals and need to be punished. But yours is very similar vein, but like I'm saying, you guys are coming up with great drive statements. So I love this. So this is great.
Yes, my other 2 need work, but
no, you're fine.
Yeah.
I can go through and just rate them real quick if you guys want. Duty we already went over. Faith was God will place me where I need to be. Justice was what we just said as well. Power is allowing smugglers to operate makes our house look weak. And then truth was investigating the smugglers may reveal there is more to this than we expect. So those were the example drive statements if you wanted help with any of the other stuff. That's how they would kind of pertain to this situation. But anywho, Christian, so you said your discipline was 5. What is your drive total?
6. So that's I need
11.
to hit 11 or
Which you
better, right? Which I did, including a critical success.
Yeah. So on a 1, you scored not only 1
Or
success
critical.
but 2. Yeah.
So that is 2 successes.
So since you have 3 successes in total, that's going to be 1 over what you needed and generates a momentum. So now you have 3 momentum in the pool that anybody can use, which is great and will be definitely helpful moving forward. Nye, so We've already kind of gone through what everybody else has kind of done so far, but do you want to talk about like your discipline, what your rating is for that, and what drive you're going to use?
My discipline is 7.
7.
Because again, I am a human computer.
Yeah.
And I was going to use justice. Shar is big on justice, probably pretty lawful neutral.
Yeah.
And my drive statement for justice is justice isn't always fair. So sucks to be these guys. The rules say they can't steal from us, so
Man,
sucks to be them.
got a couple of justices in the in the ornithopter right now, so that's awesome. And what was your justice drive total?
8.
So the total you were going for was 15.
15.
Then? Yeah.
Yep. Well,
Pretty good.
No, that's
got
okay.
one of them.
I imagine you didn't want to buy any like dice or anything, probably because you knew your other party members already succeeded, and we were just seeing if you probably generated or just see if you got it or not, right? So looks like you got 1 success and 1 failure because you only got 1 under that 15 or at 15 or below. So, but that's okay because both Anna and Arachne were able to succeed it. So maybe Shara is still kind of like looking out, but here is what Arachne and Anna see. You spot what looks like a group of well-hidden tents in the desert near a small outcropping of a rock close to a large set of caves. So basically, imagine kind of like a
the
large...
tents are next to, or in an outcropping by a large cave.
Yeah, if you look...
And there's a large rock that this is all by?
Yeah, so essentially...
Okay.
Yeah.
I am going to try and land... have they spotted us? Or is there like... Are we in a situation where it's like, in no world have they not spotted us? You know what I mean? Like, we're in a giant... We're in a helicopter, and, you know, I don't know if you've ever been around when a helicopter has gone by, you notice it. You can hear that.
Yeah.
So are we far? I mean, I'm assuming we've got to be close enough where they have seen this.
I mean,
Yeah.
You could spend the momentum to ask the game master a question about the scene, I believe. So, like, if you feel like that's important enough in this situation, not saying necessarily that it is, but in the future, that is something we can do. There's options there. As well as, like, adding a
Wait, hold on. Let me see. I have a talent called
passive.
hyper awareness. It's a Bene Gesserit talent.
Mm-hmm.
Whenever you spend momentum to obtain information about the current situation, your current location, or a person you can currently observe, you may ask 2 questions for the first point of momentum spent. Further, the limits of what others would be able to notice do not apply to you for any questions. So, hey guys, how do you feel about me spending a momentum right now to get 2 questions?
Fuck it.
About...
Go for it.
Yeah? Yeah.
I mean, we're
it's
halfway
an
through
option. Yeah, it's an option. I'm not saying it's the only option, but, I mean, and if I get outvoted, then so be it.
Nice scenes before.
Go for it.
But Christian,
All
how
right.
are you feeling?
All right. Yeah, Christian, what are you feeling?
Yeah, I mean, we're halfway to the cap of momentum already. I mean, it's a little min-maxy, I guess, but, like,
Okay.
might as well use it, right?
Yeah, what's the harm
one.
in spending 1, right?
Yep.
Yeah,
And,
exactly.
Display kind of how that works.
Yeah.
Okay, cool. Okay, so,
I like to think of this as like
What?
Yeah, go ahead.
I'm sorry. I'm trying to choose good questions, you guys.
Yeah.
I apologize for taking a minute.
You guys can
How dare you.
like before
Yo,
you
yeah, and
actually ask me,
if you have any if you
Yeah.
have any suggestions about
if you guys want to
what I should be
discuss
looking
beforehand.
for, yeah, sidebar.
I like to think the momentum either coming from like Christian, your character, Arachne, basically like maybe is able to point something out that's like the momentum pushing like being used, or it could be the momentum of Anna just piloting good enough that that's why you're able to obtain this information. I always like to think of momentum as a story-driven device. Mechanically, it allows you guys to use d20s and stuff, but I also like to think story-wise, it's like how your actions are contributing to the information or whatever you're happening narratively
Sure.
and everything. But anyways, Justin,
Can I see inside the cave?
that's what you're asking first?
Mm. Yeah, actually, how about this? Well, would this count as one of the questions that would be in this sort of thing, or would this be something that I know because of the successes of the roles? What can you tell me about the camp that I see? Like,
Yeah.
I see the camp. How well do I see the camp? And if that's one of the questions, I'd like to refine the question a little bit. Like, if that counts as one of these questions using the momentum.
Like, what
I
can
wanna
you see of
refine
the
that
camp?
question.
Yeah, that could be a question.
Yeah. Okay, so yeah, exactly what do I see in the camp?
Yeah.
And around the cave and stuff like that.
Yeah, so there's essentially, imagine it like there was, okay, so I mentioned that there is a small outcropping of rock close to a large set of caves. So the outcropping of rock kind of like comes over. I would imagine it's more so like, sorry, I'm trying to think of exactly how to word this. So
Mm-hmm.
essentially where you see the caves, it is like the outcropping is like above the caves. So the caves are down here and the rock outcropping kind of comes on top of it. There you see specifically the tents are in front of those caves, but also on top of the outcropping.
On top
Yes.
of the cave itself.
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay. So the cave is the focal point, not these tents.
Imagine that
Probably a spice mine.
they're observing. They're kind of watching over the area.
I will
Whoever is up there.
Yeah. I will add on one additional information too to this. That's
Mhm.
what like this is the camp that you see, right? Most
Right.
of the surrounding area, this rock outcropping is pretty isolated. The rest of it is just covered in sand around here. But there is like a larger rock formation a little bit into the distance, but it is not next to the camp.
Interesting.
It would be a stretch to get there. So
Hmm.
that's like the
Okay.
next closest landmark, is what I will say.
Not crazy far, but it would be a schlep. Okay.
So that's
And
question.
then what? I have one more question, guys. Does anybody have any ideas of what we could be asking here?
How many tents?
How many?
Oh, yeah, that shouldn't count. That should be something that was kind of included in that. That's a. Can we treat? You know what I mean?
Sure,
that's-
I'll allow
I
that. There are.
I asked.
You count.
Yeah,
because
because I did ask for great detail.
8 tents.
8 tents. 4 on top and 4
Yes.
down at the mouth.
Yeah.
Okay.
I mean, we could ask, what
And do
defining
we see
features-
people out?
Yeah. You do.
What? Yeah, people are clearly like coming and going around the mouth of this cave.
Yes, they're working.
I mean, Shara is a mentat, so if we can see any defining features and know any defining features of the people and or the tents, then surely Shara may be able to recall information that they have.
Oh yeah.
that may clue us into exactly like who is smuggling, or
Yeah.
know our enemy before we even touch down.
So are there house markings or guild markings or anything on any of the tents or crates or anything that we see? Are they wearing specific colors noted to a affiliation?
Like the tent of a Fremen would be different from the tent of a
Yeah, like an Iraqi soldier.
Yeah.
I mean, or Arcady soldier. Arrakis.
Yeah.
Iraqi. Not Iraqi. Iraqi.
no.
You know what? What's the other one? The Harkonnen soldier. Yeah, there we go.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I didn't like any. Cut all that from the YouTube. Cut all that.
We'll cut all that. That's
Get
removing
rid of that whole thing.
Alright, write the timestamp down.
Cut.
Jeez.
Cut.
It's fine. It's okay.
No, yeah.
Cut. Like we're in a
First
movie.
thing.
Just like cut that out.
Don't call it cut.
That's
Cut.
gonna the cutting room
Twitch, you
floor
didn't see
there.
any of that.
Yeah. Screw that.
Persimmon.
Persimmon, there we go.
I persimmon myself. Yeah, persimmon.
No, I mean my persimmon myself earlier too.
Cacao.
I'm uncomfortable.
Okay, moving on. You know what? The best thing
Okay.
is just to move forward. So here's the other question was, can you identify the smugglers below? If you can identify them somehow. Great. Question number 2. You recognize that, or at least, okay, if Sarah fell, Naya, if you're okay with, like, maybe recalling this information, maybe, like, your other, maybe Anna describes them to you, and you're able to recall the information to whether or not you identify them? Does that sound good?
Sure.
Cool. So, as Anna describes it to Sharafel, they are not Fremen. You can tell they wear still suits, but they are not Fremen. They are also not of a house of any kind of creed. They're not wearing any colors or any specific thing. They're not Harkonnens here in your space or anything like that. They appear to be just random smugglers gathering some spice.
All right. I mean, so we are we're like kind of on this planet anyway. We have a little bit of clout. Do you think maybe we should just go play ball?
I mean, we both have
Look,
connections.
if they're just spice smugglers, what is it really like? As long as maybe they pay us a mining fee, maybe we can even get them papers as independent contractors. Bureaucracy is a beautiful thing when we do it right.
I mean, if we want to truly know,
Bureaucracy is a beautiful thing when we do it right, darling.
either of us could always attempt to perform espionage while the others.
Just perform a little espionage, just like that.
Oh,
Just hold on, I'm going to perform some espionage. Cue the music. Thank you, Maestro.
between the
Darling, what do you mean?
assassins
What
and the
are we to
Bene
do?
we can truly find what's going on here.
Anyway, we're definitely making ourselves known largely in this giant flying insects.
They don't know how
I think
many
I saw.
are in
Well,
this flying
they don't
insect,
know,
do
and
they?
it could just be a scouting. However, I do think that we could make ourselves scarce beyond a rock a bit further. It would be a bit of a walk back this way, or since we've already been seen, made ourselves known, so to speak, we could just land and be welcomed and, be welcoming.
I vote land. Just land here. They can't touch us or anything. Because if they hurt us, then we don't go back. Like, our house is going to come out.
A missing Bene Gesserit is a bad look, darling.
Yeah, so, like, I feel like Smugglers can't really touch us.
All right, so here we go then. Down one floor. Menswear, housewares, main lobby, and I bring the thingy down.
Yeah.
I would like to try and stay on the
Oh,
ornithopter.
she's fabulous. That's how I'm doing this. I know that they're all like mean in the movies. I don't care. I'm not doing it that way.
You're a little bit different after getting to your house.
I am different.
So, Christian, you said Arachne wants to stay on the ornithopter.
I would like to try and find an opening to sneak my way. I guess in this situation, maybe the best way to sneak behind and get a stealthy approach on somebody would probably be on the outcropping above, like climbing up around. But the way I'm envisioning this scene, at least, but effectively do that in one way or another.
Could you describe it again, just so I'm clear on what you're trying to do?
I'm essentially wanting to make sure my presence isn't known.
Okay.
So staying on the ornithopter hidden until I can
know that
find an opening to kind of come behind them, either on the ground level in front of the caves, or if I need to climb up and around on top of the cave, the outcropping or whatever.
Yeah, absolutely. Okay, got it. So, my question to the party, the group right now, the house, where are you landing? Are you landing, like, near them? Are you trying to land a little bit further away?
A respectable distance.
A respectable distance. So,
not like flying in hot right on them. That seems aggressive. I'm gonna do a politely assertive landing.
Okay.
A respectful distance away.
50 yards out.
Since Anna is
I don't know what that looks like, so you just play with that. But that's you can land all casual like.
Since Anna is controlling the ornithopter, why don't you go ahead and give me another move roll to set it down gently.
Okay.
Just to let you know, this is going to be our first secret test, so I'm not going to tell you what the difficulty is.
Ooh.
But I'm just going to let you know that setting it down gently on the sand is difficult in an ornithopter. You would sense that setting it down on top of the rock outcropping would be easier, but you would probably crush some tents, and obviously they would kind of recognize that you're there. But setting it down a little bit further away on the sand, you will have to do a move to set it down gently.
Can I treat it like a seaplane?
Yeah.
Like, so, I don't know if you've ever seen a seaplane land.
Yeah.
But they come in, and they kind of like...
Yeah.
And I want to just take, like, screw it, you know what I mean? Like, I'll come in, I'll loop around, and then, because I'm going to have to I'm just going to skid along the sand anyway. I'm just going to treat the sand a little bit like water.
Yeah.
And as this thing, it's designed after a creature on my home world called the dragonfly.
Yeah.
And it kind of lands the same way on the water.
That's cool.
So I'm gonna like skid it in. Is there any way? I don't know if that's gonna impact anything, but that's how I'm gonna do it.
Okay. I can't reveal that to you.
I know, that's okay. You said that.
Yeah.
You said that. I don't even know if it's going to impact anything, but it's like, hey, roleplay wise, building the scene, telling the story.
Yeah.
I loop around and I try and, because I'm working with the natural world.
Yeah. Depending on how well you do, it will either be a little bit harder or a little bit softer, depending on how well you do. So, as always, you get 2d20 just to start off. You don't know what the difficulty is, but if you wanted to buy some threat or buy some d20s by either giving me threat or using momentum, you can do so. But if you just want to
Can
roll the
I?
straight
Is
2d20s,
this a? You said this is a move.
move.
Move. All right. Move and duty brings me to 12. Just over half, which is not bad. And I don't know how many successes I need. Because you said, I mean, how that other outcrop, that other rock, how far? When we say a schlep, how far? Is it like a half day, or is it like maybe even an hour?
No, definitely, like, so the outcrop,
Is it a day?
if you were sprinting, you could probably make it there in, like, about 15 minutes, maybe?
Oh,
It's not super
Well,
far away, but it's the closest landmark. It's still quite a distance out.
not the one that the tents are on, but the other one away.
Yeah, the formation, the rock formation, yeah.
Okay. Well, wait. There's the. Does this planet also have the worms?
Oh, it's Arrakis.
Oh, Arrakis, yeah.
Oh shit! All right. So if we
really
walking that far is kind of dangerous. Okay. Yeah. All right. I'm gonna bring it in.
I feel like landing the ornithopter in that way is kind of dangerous. Just repeated thumps on the sand in a pretty rhythmic.
No, it's not gonna be rhythmic at all, man. This is gonna be an interesting landing. Oh shit! Passive scrutiny. When you enter a scene, you may ask one question of the game master as if you spent momentum to obtain information. Okay, so after we land, I'm gonna use that.
Okay.
All right, D20s. Oh no.
How many successes?
Oh wait.
What was the total you're using?
I'm gonna use my feature to re-roll one.
Yeah? That's a nat 1! Yeah! So what was your target number, and how many successes did you get in total?
Okay, so in total, do failures subtract from successes?
No.
Oh, in that case, so it didn't really matter which one I was re-rolling because I needed a 12, so they both failed.
Yeah.
But so one of them is a failure.
Yeah.
And one of them is a 1. So one of them is a critical success. One of them is a failure. So I'm not sure how that resolves.
It's just two successes with the crit
it's
success.
Just two successes.
That's 2 successes.
Yeah. There's
Okay,
no
so that's
or
2 total.
Yep.
2 successful dice, basically.
All right. Yeah, I didn't know.
Yeah.
Awesome. So I have 2 successes.
Perfect. Great. It's always good to keep in mind too. Yeah.
Okay, so I come in and the first one's hard.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's hard. It's not good. And then I kind of like come back down and I'm like coasting on one, and then I kind of like land down and it's like a little bump, and then just slide the rest of the way.
Perfect. So it's also good to know that whenever you're making these skill checks, if you have a focus that applies, you can use that towards it. I think both.
The focus on. Well, no, it's move, so I don't have a focus on this.
No, that's okay. I was just saying, if you do have something that applies in the future, essentially, to everybody at home, a focus is something that's written next to your skill. Like, for example, I believe Sharafel, your character, under Communicate has Innuendo, correct?
Yes.
So that means if you are ever doing a Communicate and you use you could apply an Innuendo to it, it would activate that focus. And all that means is that essentially whatever your target number is, as long as you roll under that, that counts as 2 successes. So that's really good for racking up the successes. But obviously a focus has to be a very specific thing, so it doesn't always apply. If it does apply, then you can use that. But that's just something I'm just reminding everybody as we're kind of doing these skill checks. But, Justin, Anna lands the ornithopter a little ways out, but not too far out from the camp. It kind of poo, lands on the sand. It sounds like Arachne is kind of staying in the ornithopter first to kind of like wait for a moment to kind of like sneak out and reposition themselves behind the smugglers wherever they kind of come out and such like that, kind of observing and trying to position themselves accurately. So if Arachne is waiting inside of the ornithopter, what is Shara and Anna currently doing?
Anna?
Gonna go check out the smugglers and tell them they need to stop.
Yeah. Anna is, well, so the first thing Anna is doing is Anna is putting together is grabbing her bag, which has camp supplies and some survival gear and, a couple other things. Backpack. She puts on her protective suit.
Still suit. Yeah.
And then plugs in that nose thingy, I guess. I don't know if I have one of those.
Yeah. I like to imagine you're usually suited up for your still suit before you leave, like, the walled city, like the wall. But, like, maybe you're just adjusting and checking everything and, like, putting on an extra backpack or anything that you have. So.
Yep. And I'm checking my ammo, grabbing a few extra clips, holstering that. I know the Bene Gesserit like to use knives and melee weapons, so I have a couple of those. And then I grab 2 bottles of wine, which I pop out from underneath a floorboard in the craft.
Oh, the worst thing to bring into a desert. That's awesome. I love that. Okay.
Yeah, no, but it's like hidden. Like I have stashes in places.
These are my holy stashes.
I don't know. Look, okay, like so if anybody who's watching this on YouTube later, I saw the David Lynch version like 3 times many years ago. I've never read the books. So please don't be mad at the way I'm playing the Space Witch. It's probably wrong.
It's probably perfect.
Thank you. I feel validated.
Yeah, good.
That makes me feel good.
I love this.
Anyway, yeah. So she gets that, and So,
Justin,
darling, are we good to go?
This, in my head canon now, and you can completely reject this. I'm starting to think that your character was so enamored with wine and being very different and very of herself that maybe there's a reason she got put with this minor house. compared to
maybe, yeah, that's it. I'm a bad Bene Gesserit sister. So they're like, I was like, they're like, hey, you want to go back to your like little crappy house on its little desert wasteland? And I was like, yeah, I do actually. How did you know?
Okay. So,
and I get back to the house. And I was like, I'm keeping you back with the Bene Gesserit. Like I'm in tight. Like I'm in Invader Zim.
Yeah.
They do not know my powers.
They don't know. Beautiful. Okay, so Sharfell and Anna are going to start making their way towards the smuggler camp while Arachne is kind of waiting for a moment. So both of you, as you start to cross the sand, can you give me a difficulty... Let me make sure this is not a secret test. It's an understand test. So go ahead and start calculating that.
Ooh. I think I'm good at that. I am.
Okay, this is not secret. So, yeah. This is a difficulty 3 understand test. This is as you're starting to, like, go cross the sand. It's a difficulty 3 understand test.
So, ironically,
Yes.
I don't think I understand.
Yeah.
And what are we doing?
Yeah. So basically, there is
Like, so we're there. We need to do this test.
Yeah.
Why?
Well, you start to recall some information that might be important. So that's why
Ooh, okay.
I'm asking you to do this understand test to see if you recall that information.
Okay, cool.
Yes.
Cool.
Oh, we're trying to recall info?
Yes.
Yes.
I should have been more
like,
clear
I'm
about
super
that.
down to roll dice. I love doing that. That's the most fun part about tabletop role playing. We'd like to hear the clickety clack.
Yeah.
Hear
And
me
I have
out.
I have my clickety clack turned on roll 20.
So you get all
Hear
the
me out.
clickety clacks.
Since we're recalling data, and I'm a human computer,
Yeah.
Yes.
when making an understand test that applies to recalling data, one of the d20s in your pool may be considered to have rolled a 1 instead of rolling it.
Awesome. And yeah, I should keep the I'm sorry I'm not clarifying that. I'll try to clarify what the tests are more specifically, so that way you guys understand what kind of traits apply to it. So thank you for asking that, Justin. And I'm glad we could figure out that this applies to you, Nye. This applies to Sharafel.
But it's difficulty 3, so I still have to roll the other one.
Mm-hmm. Are you buying any extra d20s or using any momentum?
I'm not. I'm trying to figure out what drive I want to use.
Mm-hmm.
Is it meat beat?
Yes. Yes.
Yes.
Cool.
I'm still probably going to try and stick with justice because the whole purpose we're here is the smuggler thing.
Yeah, they do say, like, at the beginning, like, most players will pick a drive, which is probably their highest, and use that throughout the entire thing. The only time it wouldn't apply is, like, if it didn't narratively fit something. Like, if somebody was asking for truth, and you were trying to just use justice to do it, I might rule that it should be a truth instead. But
Well, I got a
Yeah.
6, and my other one counted as a 1, which is 2 successes. So I have, fun fact, 3 successes.
All right.
Ooh.
So
Yeah, nice.
yeah, so the
Hey,
information.
how does it work when we all? Game Master, I have a question.
Yeah.
Do we all roll?
Yes, everybody rolled that.
Now, does our cumulative successes count toward new momentum?
As far as my understanding of it is, you make skill tests individually.
Uh-huh.
So your successes wouldn't count towards each other's.
No. So for example,
Yeah.
Nye here rolled 3 successes.
Mm-hmm.
Is that-
Yep.
So, you need 3 to pass it.
Correct.
Yes.
Okay, so let's just say it was a DC 1,
Yeah,
and he got 3 successes, right?
correct.
That would be another 2 momentum.
Yeah.
And I roll, and I get 2 successes.
Mm-hmm.
Do we hit the momentum limit because I got 2 more successes?
Well, you have 2 momentum currently. You can gain 4 more. So if the difficulty was 1, and
Oh, okay, yeah, but that's what I'm saying. We'd be at the limit of successes at that point.
of successes.
Because so if this was a DC 1 roll,
Yeah.
difficulty class 1,
Yeah.
right? And Mike got 3 successes, right?
Yeah.
Because Mike got 3 successes, that means he gets 2.
Momentum.
Yeah, he gets 2 momentum,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
I also roll to pass the check,
Yep.
right? Because if it's a check that applies to like all of us, right?
Yeah.
I roll 2 successes.
Yeah. Which would be 1 over.
What do we add another momentum?
Yes.
Okay, cool. Thank you.
Yep. That would be correct.
Everybody's successes count toward your momentum pool.
If you get it over the difficulty, correct. Yeah.
But
Yeah.
it checks each individual against that difficulty.
Against that
It's
difficulty.
not-
Right.
you're not just adding to what Michael already got, right?
Yeah, no. I understood that point.
Cool.
Yeah. Okay.
I don't think I was being articulate about the whole momentum thing. But
Yeah,
cool. Yeah,
no, that's
everybody
great.
checks. Everybody checks, makes their own individual in a roll.
Yeah.
Everybody. Well, that would apply to everybody. Everybody makes their own individual roll against the difficulty, and any extra successes go toward momentum and that can come from any player in the group.
Correct.
Adding toward the momentum pool. But only successes that would have normally gone to momentum for an individual player against the check get added to the momentum pool.
Yeah. It's an interesting system. It's a little counterintuitive at first, but I think it does a really good job at kind of like what it's trying to do. So.
No, yeah. I mean, I think it makes sense. Like, everybody has to do the thing. And if you do the thing extra well, then you can add toward the momentum.
Yeah.
And everybody can add toward the momentum if they manage to do the thing extra well.
Mm-hmm.
Cool. Sorry.
Okay.
Thanks for clearing that up for me.
No, that's the whole point of this. Yeah.
Cool. So let's resolve Mike's roll. I'm sorry for interrupting, Mike.
No, you're okay.
Oh, I passed. That was...
Nye, Sharafel remembers this fact. You know that the Fremen and a few smugglers know to walk without rhythm to avoid attracting sandworms. It's not common knowledge, but you remember that fact, and so you're able to understand that as you're passing through the sand, you guys will have to walk without rhythm in order to avoid attracting a sandworm.
Cool. Okay. So, are we just going to describe how we do that?
Sure.
Okay. Because I have superior control of my body, I am going to do a cartwheel, and that's going to build into a couple of like off-timed handstands, or flips.
Yeah.
And then I'm going to bounce and tumble off one of them, and then do a little army crawl, and then kind of just like repeat that pattern.
Perfect.
Or like sets of moves and kind of off cadence.
And Nye, what does Sharafel's look like?
I'm just doing whatever the fucking like sand dance the Fremen do.
Oh, you know about the sand dance? Yeah, you're like, oh yeah, I saw it in the book one
Or
time.
the sand walk or whatever it's called. I'm doing that.
Perfect. Well, then great. Well, I think we should take a quick break, and when we come back, we're gonna make a move test that is gonna be a secret difficulty this time, just like the other one before. So, we're gonna come back, we'll do a move test, which I think, Anna, Justin's character, gets a few extra bonus things, but, Sharafel also has to attempt as well. So, we're gonna go ahead and take a quick break, and we'll come back and kind of resolve that move skill check. So, okay. See you guys in just a second. Hey everybody! Welcome back to the ABCs of RPGs, where we teach you the basics of tabletop role-playing games. My name is Spencer, I'm the Game Master for the evening, and we are playing Dune Adventures in the Imperium, the RPG. So, yeah, I mentioned that I'm Spencer. We're playing the Quick Start Worm Sign. And let me make sure that all of my players are introduced once again. Guys, if you want to introduce yourselves and your characters, and then we can do a little quick summary of what's happened so far. So let's start off with Christian.
Hi, my name is Christian. I'm playing Arachne Malek, and I am an assassin that is likes to take out my enemies through stealth, and if I need to fight, then I will do it for I act as the blade of my house. So
House
Bro, you're an assassin who likes to take out people with stealth? What a concept.
well, it's absolutely insane to think about, But in case I don't, and that's why I mention it, because in case I don't, I have to duel somebody. I'm really good at that too, so that's cool.
Oh.
That should be my next D&D character is a rogue who's like, I'm an assassin, just at no point attempts to
Be an assassin.
be sneaky.
Sneaky. Just always
Like,
in the
just
open.
walks up and stabs someone. You just got
Terrible.
assassinated, bitch.
Assassinated.
I played with
Fail
somebody
sneak attack
who
every time.
did an ogre swashbuckler one time. Back in D&D 3.5, you used to be able to do this thing called level adjustments. And that was so you could play as a monster and get character levels. And he was the worst. He was the worst pirate ever. It was the best. He was an ogre pirate. And all the things that you need to do are dex-based. And ogres have 0 dex. Their dex was like a 6 or something in 3.5. So he just failed miserably at everything.
Amazing.
I miss that character so much.
I mean, if you ever made like a big, bulky, like assassin who's not very sneaky, you could always just, whenever somebody catches you, make an intimidation roll and just say, "You don't see me." See if
It's
that
like
works.
Drax in Guardians of the Galaxy. You just stay still.
Just stay still.
Can't see me.
Match
can't
is standing
perceive-
perfectly still.
But okay, Christian, you introduce yourself. Justin, can you introduce yourself next?
Hey everybody, I'm Justin, pronouns he, him. I am playing Anna Musgrave. I think that's fine. That's what her name is. Anna Musgrave. And
Margrave.
she is Margrave. Pronouns she, her. And she is a space witch who reports to the space papacy.
Yeah.
Yeah. And my space witch powers focus on being able to like perfectly control every aspect of my body.
And Nye.
I'm Nye. I'm playing Sharafel. She is our Mentat, which in the Dune lore is a human computer.
Beautiful. Perfect. Love it. Okay, great. So, yeah, so far you guys are currently investigating some spice smugglers. You have a contract with House Harkonnen to mine some spice on a specific plot of land. Then you got word that someone else is kind of smuggling some spice out of your land, so you're heading to the location. You flew over, did some checks, were able to spot the camp, and you landed the Ornithopter a little bit ways out, and now you know, thanks to Sharafel, your Mentat, that if you want to cross the sands without alerting a sandworm, you have to do the walk without rhythm. So that's where we left off with both Anna and Sharafel attempting that. Let me go ahead and pull you guys over to this next scene. If Roll20 lets me. There we go.
Cool. Wait, hold on. I want to activate one of my talents.
Sure.
Passive scrutiny. When I enter a scene, I may ask one question of the game master as if you'd spent momentum to obtain information. Okay. Please set the scene, and I will ask my question after that.
Okay. So you guys are starting your attempt of crossing over to the smugglers' camp from where you landed the Ornithopter. I was actually going to also have Arachne also make the same move test that is a secret difficulty, because I like to think that they'll go on ahead of you, but then you'll make your cross across the desert as well. So I was going to have all of you kind of make this test right now to do the walk without rhythm and move into your positions on camp.
Sure.
So that was going to be the setup. Yes, go ahead, Justin.
Oh, you set the skill, right?
Yes, for the move.
Okay. Okay, move. And then I can choose duty.
Yep, you can choose any kind of drive you want.
Failure at this brings shame on my house, and I cannot have that.
I mean, as long as it's relevant, right?
Yeah.
But that's at the discretion of the game master, right?
Yeah. And that's what I'm asking. Is my drive
Yeah.
to fulfill my responsibility to my house, as well as the sisterhood, report any kind of foul activity
Yeah.
to them.
There's no conflict. So yes, all of the drives are okay.
Okay. All right. So that'll be the good old 12. Oh. Oh.
Ooh, we get to
Wait.
do complication.
Oh, we're doing multiple complications.
Wait.
here.
Can I use? I want to use my Prana Bindu conditioning because this
Okay.
is about the movement across the sand, right?
Yes, it is.
Okay, cool. And I'm gonna just re-roll the 20 because I'm assuming if the ones are really good, the 20s are really bad. Fuck you, dude. All right, complication time.
Well, so
My prancing across the sand has not yielded good results.
Did you so you it's only when you roll a 20. Only a 20 causes a complication.
Oh, yeah, I definitely wanted to re-roll the 20 die.
Yeah. So
Well, you know what? Fuck it. No.
you want to show this how this works?
I mean,
I do
rolled
want to
20.
show. I do want to show this. Oh, you rolled a 20?
Yeah, so you probably shouldn't
Alright.
keep that as well.
So,
All right. Well, then I'll get rid of my 20, and Christian can keep his.
So I want to explain kind of like
Thank
how
you for taking one for the one for the team.
so
Oh, hey, you darling.
I do want to explain how complications
problem.
kind of work. So essentially, this is a nat 1 in D&D, right? A complication basically when you like critically fail, when you roll that 20, basically in general, a complication can work like a negative trait. It can stop you from doing something you would usually be able to, or increase the difficulty of an action by 1. In general, that's how it kind of mechanically affects the game. They give some examples on page 153 of how complication works. Since this is a move complication, there are a few different ones they give example. One could be awkward. I have no grace or flow of movement. Constricted. There isn't enough room for me to move. Hurt. An injury is slowing me down. Slow. I can't move very quickly. Tired. I'm feeling too exhausted to run. Or uncoordinated. I can't seem to control my movements. So I would say that one of the other things, though, is that you can also choose to ignore this complication if you give me 2 points of threat. So if you don't want that negative trait on you, which I'll have to see how long it lasts for.
No, that's okay. And what was the first option?
Like the example move complications?
Yeah.
Awkward. I have no grace or flow of movement.
And then what was the last one?
Uncoordinated. I can't seem to control my movements.
I would like the first one because I'm not supposed to have any grace or coordination to my movements anyway, so this is just going to make it seem like it's erratic nonsense on the sand.
Well, remember, you re-rolled your 20. You're not getting a complication. It's currently arachne.
Oh, you should choose you should choose the first or the second one because we're not supposed to have like cadence to our movements anyway. So if you're just spazzing out, do that.
I will say there are a few things you can do on top of this. There is sometimes I can say like, "Hey, this action is risky, perilous,
Christian's
flirtatious, or
character just has a
treacherous."
seizure.
So sometimes the complication range could be bigger if I deem that the challenge is more dangerous than it normally is. But there is something called succeeding at a cost. So some skill tests can't be failed outright. Sometimes an action will inevitably succeed, but there might be problems or consequences along the way. In these situations, the Game Master may allow a skill test to succeed at a cost, either before the dice have rolled or after the result is known. Never mind, I thought this was under the complication. It seems like this is something different. So, but yeah, so anyways, if a skill test succeeds at a cost, then a character who fails a skill test still achieves their goal in some form, but they also suffer one or more automatic complications. So, in addition to any that they're suffering because of the roll. So essentially, that is something completely separate that can also result in complications. Basically, if there's no way you could fail at a test, but it's still dangerous, it would be succeeding at a cost, and you would automatically get, like, a complication. But that's not what's happening here. So, let's turn back to Christian and to your character, Arachne. Did you want to give me threat? 2 points of threat in order to buy off this complication?
Don't do it.
Or were you taking
You already have 6. No, I think that's fine. Yeah. I did roll an extra dice because I have a talent that when I'm trying to move, without being seen, basically, I can buy an extra dice for free, essentially.
Yeah.
So I did roll an extra one a little bit after the fact. I rolled the 2.
That's great.
Just to notate that. But no, I don't think I'm gonna give you threat. I'm not worried about a complication here, at least right now. So we'll take it on the chin.
Okay.
I'm not used to these sands.
That's what I was gonna say. I think
These sands are different from the sands over where we're from.
yeah, I think you're gonna get the awkward traits right now. And that is, I have no grace or flow of movement, and I think it's, yeah, like we were just saying, it's probably because you're not used to the loose-footedness of the sand, so you're having difficulty, like, keeping steady balance as you're kind of, like, as you're trying to walk across these sands and everything. Your normal stealthy movement is hindered in the sand. So, that's something we're gonna have to keep in mind, because that may prevent you from doing something in the future with this awkward, or it might increase the difficulty in future checks for moving. So, we'll see how that kind of plays out. But, so essentially...
And it's just up to you as far as the duration of this, I guess?
That's why I was just trying to, like, figure that out. It seems like it.
I wasn't sure if it was just like scene by scene and it ends, like, because some things just happen in the scene, or you have like maybe you procure an asset and then it's available for the scene. So I was thinking maybe the complication just lasts the scene, but it looks like that's the case where you just
yeah. They don't
depends, I guess.
That's why I was reading ahead. They don't give examples of like when this would be recovered. So I think narratively when it would make sense, like an injury, for example, needs time to heal. Like that's a persisting negative thing. Like you got something in battle that's going to last a while. If you guys like, this was the end of a scene, you have 2 weeks where you're like resting. Then it's like, okay, yeah, that injury, it goes away unless it was like a broken bone or something. But since I'm saying you're just awkward in the sand, it just might take you a little bit to kind of get used to the movement. I'm going to say for right now, this might last until the end of this, until you feel comfortable in the sand, which might be a little bit.
Or I get out of the sand.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes, that's what I would say. So, yeah.
Okay.
Just because it was a complication that was rolled, right? So.
I passed.
Great. Well, what did you roll?
Unlike these losers, What did I roll? I rolled a 12 and a 5.
Okay. And both of those are successes?
Yeah, my move is 5, but if I use Justice, which I have been, then that would make, which is an 8, that'd be 13. And both 12, fun fact, both 12 and 5 are less than 13.
So 2 successes from Nye. Christian,
You sure about that?
did Arachne get any
Sure about
successes?
that?
Assuming
get-
we're using the standard
2.
base 10 system. Yes, I'm pretty
All right,
fairly
whatever,
confident.
nerd.
Well, we don't know if we passed though,
Yeah.
because we don't know the difficulty.
So you
check.
still got 2 successes. Okay. So both
Yeah, no.
both Arachne and Shara got 2 successes. What did Anna get, Justin? How many successes?
Butthole.
0?
Goose egg.
Okay.
Got 2 big buttholes.
She's been drinking too much wine.
she came out she's already a little bit tired, like she's drinking a little too hard.
Like she downed some wine in
Yeah.
between,
She
like
has
landing.
Look,
Right after
look,
landing that.
she hasn't had her spice today. All right.
She takes one of her statues and just pounds it.
Spice melange.
Okay, perfect.
That's
Well,
long.
all right. So
Yeah.
you guys, that's what you rolled succeeded. So basically, Shara.
So I guess I'm walking in like perfect synchronous. Like I'm trying to do all this stuff,
Yeah.
and unfortunately, I'm just kind of backflipping in like perfect rhythm.
Yes. So. Okay. So Shara and Anna, you get to the smuggler camp. We'll say Arachne, you are kind of like circling around and being stealthy about it. You did a pretty good on your move. So I will say Arachne, as you first kind of like see the camp, they don't seem to notice you right at first. Shara and Anna, how are you approaching the camp? Are you coming in towards the top of the outcropping with the 4 tents, or are you towards the more? I like to think the 4 tents that are below the outcropping are in front of the caves. So are you going like that approach right there?
Well, so I maybe I misunderstood.
Sure.
So I thought that other rock was kind of like along the same level of the mouth of the cave.
Yes, it is.
Is this like okay?
Yeah.
Yeah. So we're like walking up.
Mm-hmm.
I am holding a bottle of wine in one hand.
Great. Okay, so, Shara, how are you approaching this situation?
Outside of doing the fucking sand dance,
Yeah.
I would say pretty confidently. Again, these guys are in the wrong, and I want to right the situation. And maybe that does mean we get a subcontract with these guys. Maybe it means we kill them. I don't know. But right now, they're on our land
Let's
unlawfully.
be nice. Let's be nice.
Okay. So you two are just kind of forward approaching the tents, probably at the lower portion where the 4 tents are in front of the caves. I like to think that Arachne, because they're doing that direct approach, you're maybe making your way up to the top outcropping with like the 4 tents on top of that. Maybe that's like your angle that you're doing. Does that sound reasonable to you?
Yeah.
Okay, cool. So both Anna and Shara walk up to the tents, and you maybe see like a few of the smugglers. Like some of them are operating machines, or they have like a few things they're like sifting sand. And as they look up at you, they kind of like drop their items, and a few of them run and seem to run to like maybe one of the tents and like shake somebody, like tap on it, and then you see what appears to be a very well-dressed, organized member kind of steps out of the one tent, and he looks at you guys, and he starts walking over.
I walk toward him. I have the bottle of wine up like this, and I have my other hand on my pistol.
Okay, all right. As soon as you put your hand on your pistol, this man stops and goes, "Hey! We don't need to fight about this."
Oh, good. You keep an eye on this. I look at
Shara?
Chara. No. Cool. All right. Hey, I have something for you. Little gift from us to you.
Wine in a desert?
Well, I mean, wine can be drank anywhere. I don't understand why we're talking about it in the desert specifically. But yeah, I mean, maybe keep it till you need it. No, you don't have to drink it now. Look, we make this. I make this as a side project in one of my studies out of our spasacados. They have a fairly high sugar concentration, enough actually that you can get a very dry wine, fairly low sugar content. The sugars and the fructose punches in at about 19%. So you get a nice little 8% wine out of it. Very, very nice lunch. Something light, protein paste kind of thing.
Yeah.
Anyway,
Yeah.
it's a gift for you because we like to welcome new visitors in our territory cordially. So welcome visitors in the Abkhagi territory.
He looks at you strangely.
I bid you welcome.
He looks at you.
And I look at him.
Yeah.
Just kind of deadpan.
He looks at you strangely. I rolled a understand roll for him to try to see if he recognized, like, for example, both your garb and Shara, like Anna and Shara's garb, to see if he recognized you, and he did not. He did not. But you mentioning
really, I'm very traditionally dressed.
You are? Okay. Well,
Mm-hmm.
he's never met Bene Gesserit
Oh,
before.
well, okay. Yeah. So I guess I'm wearing the suit thing. But my suit thing would have, like, I don't know, markings, I guess.
Okay. So he eyes both of you, and when you mention
But he don't know.
your
Okay.
house, maybe he goes, okay. He goes, well, wine can be drank anywhere, but I can tell you haven't been out here in the dunes very long. But you said your house Albuquerque? I'm sorry. I wasn't aware that this was your territory.
Whose territory did you think it was?
Well, I would say that he turns to, like, the other smugglers that are starting to, like, just kind of gather around. They're not threatening. They're more so just, like, kind of curious. Like, they're poking out of tents and stuff like that. We don't really concern ourselves too much about whose territory is what. We're just,
Maybe you should.
we're just trying to make a living here, okay?
By stealing?
Well, you can't steal from someone if you don't know it's someone.
That's objectively not true.
Maybe we're looking at a zoning issue. Or, maybe, they simply didn't know where they were. And they weren't aware of our business practices.
He's already admitted to both of those things.
All right. Well, then you can either work for, darling, you're leaving me with very few options here. I just came in trying to help you. I brought you gifts. And yet here we are.
We're going to take a quick pause real quick, and we're going to shift over to Arachne. So, Arachne, you're trying to stealthily approach all the way up to probably this, like, outcropping, maybe get a better look at kind of the conversation happening. Why don't you give me a move roll a move skill check. And normally, I would say that since you're being stealthy and they're distracted, it would probably only be a difficulty of 1. But because you have the awkward trait, it's going to be a difficulty 2 instead. So this is you trying to get on top of that and maybe sneakily approach, like, you know, up there. Because maybe you don't necessarily know right away if anybody is up in these 4 tents on top of the outcropping, and you're sneaking your way up there.
Okay. Very well. Sorry, I'm using my very nice metal dice that you bought me.
Eee.
So that's why I'm writing this in. Let's just roll here. Ooh,
That sounded like it was
2
good.
successes.
All right.
13 and a 2. Now this is, of course, using my move, which is an 8.
Yeah.
And also Justice, which I've been using this scene.
Yeah.
As they have wronged us. So.
Perfect.
Yep. So we meet the difficulty.
Yeah. So you pass. You succeed. I would say that as you approach these tents, maybe you kind of like peek in, and you notice that all the 4 tents on top of this outcropping are empty because 4 of the different smugglers have kind of overheard the commotion, and they're leaning up against like the edge of the rock. If you imagine the edge of the rock kind of like leaning over, and you can look down into where the other 4 tents are, and the conversation between Anna, Shara, and this lead smuggler is kind of happening. All 4 of them are kind of lined up like laying prone on the edge of this rock, kind of peering over. They do not notice you.
Can I attempt a skill test to like detect danger, like if they have guns or anything like that?
Yeah.
Or do I need to do that?
I'm not
Based on what I see.
I'm gonna say,
or detect like anybody else that may be concealed.
So we used discipline to kind of like spot out a base before. So I'm gonna say this is gonna be a discipline test, but it's gonna be a 0. Because you're taking time to kind of observe like what kind of like weapons and such they have to see if you can use anything in the future. So since this is a difficulty 0, any successes you get from this discipline test will just add to momentum.
Okay. Well, it's not relevant in this case, but I do have a talent where I'm constantly watching. So I would have reduced the difficulty by 2 to a minimum of 0.
Oh!
If it was higher than 0.
That's super cool.
But there's another aspect to it, but it's not relevant here. So you said discipline, correct?
Correct.
So that would be a total of 11 or less on my rolls. I am doing the first roll. That is a 1. That is 2 crits so far tonight for me. One crit fail, 2 crit successes, and a 10. So I have technically 3 successes there with a 1 and a 10 rolled here.
Excellent. 3 more dice are added to the momentum pool.
Wow.
5 out of 6.
Wow.
So
that's pretty good.
That was great. That was a good move.
I'm glad. I want to keep rolling with this dice.
You
I just
spot.
have to believe I'm not cheating.
So you spot.
I mean, why would you cheat though? Okay, you cheated us.
No, yeah.
Thanks, friend.
Yeah.
I mean, I got a crit fail earlier, so you know.
Right. No, I know exactly. We trust you.
Yeah.
What I'm saying is like, why would we not believe you?
Yeah.
You really wanted
I'm
to
an
pass this.
assassin.
I mean, if you really want to abuse that
DC0
trust,
check.
like, damn, dude.
I want a second camera only on your dice, so I see what they roll every time you roll. If you don't have a second camera,
seriously, like, it's a game. I mean, it doesn't matter. We'll talk about this on a
pretty
tabletop.
competitive, you know. I need to win.
Yeah.
here is the information you see. You look at all
Yeah.
4 of these smugglers. They seem to be younger individuals. They're young adults between the ages of like 18 to 22, and none of them are armed. They don't have weapons of any sort. As you kind of peer at them and maybe look at these tents, you can probably see that like they don't have any weapons or anything up here, but they have like scouting equipment, like binoculars and that kind of stuff. So maybe they were supposed to be keeping watch, but they obviously didn't see you, and they don't have any weapons.
Can I spend a momentum to ask you a question?
Yes.
I'm gonna do that since I just got 3.
Yep.
If that's cool with everybody.
Mm-hmm.
I want to ask if any of these men seem to be of a higher ranking than the others
No.
in any way that I could tell.
None of them seem to be of higher ranking.
Okay.
The only higher ranking one seems to be conversing with Anna and Sharafel. Which,
Okay.
speaking of, let's go ahead and rotate back to the conversation between Sharafel, Anna, and the smuggler before you goes, I understand that I haven't been making a good case for myself as someone who's been picking up some spice on what you informed to me now as your land. Allow me to introduce myself. I'm Corbin Bralick.
And
Well, look, if you know what? Let's make a deal. We'll gather up the spice that we have right now, and we'll take our tents and get out of your hair.
Why would you take the spice?
ooh,
Honey.
darling, I don't think you fully understand what's happening here. See, if you were to take this, you're not going to take anything, darling. You may be able to purchase. And since you've already done us a bit of the dirty work, we may be willing to cut you a discount.
So you propose a discount, Justin.
On the street value of, exactly, darling. On the street value of the spice, we will charge you 80% on the unit, since you've already gone and dug it up yourself.
Corbin looks at you, Anna, and goes, 80% charge. So 20% discount on our end. Can I ask you both a favor? I'm sorry, I didn't get the pleasure of knowing either of your names.
That's all right. You know you're dealing with House Abkerji. Our designations within it are irrelevant in this particular moment, dearie. What matters now is that you let us know how much you've mined, and we'll know. Because you see my friend here, she's brilliant with figures.
I've already
and numbers.
probably done I can see the amount of barrels, and I've made the assumption okay, they have 60% of the barrels out. Each barrel has about this much volume. You can put this much spice in a barrel. By this number, they should have approximately this many pounds of spice.
Absolutely.
And you rattle that off for me right then and there. So, about that worth of spice. So that means, and again, dearie, about how much on the street do you think we'd get?
I spit out whatever number 80% of the street value would be. I just this is how much.
Yes, beautiful. So I think that's about the ticket, and we can call it. And actually, even that That's the first time. And I'll even tell you what. If you and your little group of friends come and pledge fealty to House Abkerji, we may have quite a lucrative relationship going forward. So,
yeah.
You get to keep your merchandise, you get to keep your lives, and you get to keep your men happy and fed.
He coughs and he goes, a generous offer for sure, but
It is.
can I have your attention for a moment? Can
You've
You
already
got
had
my
it.
attention 100%, darling.
do you see my workers behind me? And he points out the
Yes.
four
The answer is
other,
yes.
the three other people behind him. And as you guys notice, he goes, clearly, we don't come from a great house such as yours. And some of us have families to take care of. We're just trying to make what little living we can and get out of here. One small job like this, and these guys are set for life. They can go home and put their family through a good school and live a life that they never dreamed of before. That's why they're risking their lives out here.
I tell you what.
So,
Here's my counter offer.
okay.
Here's my counter offer to you, darling. If you had come in and gotten this, it would have been one small job. Set for life. As it stands now, you've been caught, and you're facing quite a serious complication. You've already told us that your men are simple, family men, shippers, sailors, and the like, miners. See my friend there? See how quick she computed those numbers?
Yeah.
You think she has other training as well?
I would assume so.
I think so. Darling, you really think I would play around with you?
Out of character. Nye, did Shara have something to say as well?
Oh,
I was basically just going to be like, oh, well, in order to do what you're proposing, we would have to lay off, like, what I have done the numbers. We're going to lose this much profit, and therefore we'll have to lay off or whatever. However many fucking people.
And that.
Like, whatever they propose, I'm like, okay, as a result of this action, this is the measurable, quantifiable negative effect it has on our house.
And you can have a lesser long-term impact. And instead of one job, your team pulls 5 jobs. Same as it ever was. You just do a little work for us. And, tell you what, we'll even extend a letter of recommendation to any of your crew members who want sustained living. They can come work on our Spasacado farm if they so choose. They can mine spice. We are an ever-expanding enterprise theory.
Okay, out of character, this sounds like a good moment to call upon a communicate test to try to see if your communication of this deal is something that Corbin is going to be receptive to. So I'll allow either Anna or Shara to make this test. And also, I'm going to say this is a difficulty. Let's see here. It's a pretty good deal.
If this goes south, we kill him.
Well, I was gonna
right. You, Mike, you're on the same page here, right?
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
I think murder is the last resort. I would.
No, last resort. But
If they don't want to
definitely on the
necessarily
table.
buy it or work for us, I will let them take their stuff and leave, so long as the spice remains.
Oh yeah. Oh, totally. Yeah, they can walk away. They can totally walk away. They can buy what spice they can afford.
Yeah, they don't have to buy all of it.
And we're even willing to give it. Tell you what, even if that comes to, as we're having a little sidebar over it, even if that actually comes to that, I'll give it to them at 60 or 70% on the street value dollar for it, so they can make a little money. We're not animals after all.
So I'm going to be
Anyway.
Yes, I'm going to be
Coming
calling
back.
for a communication test. And here's what I want to say. So there are sample difficulties on page 146 of the core rulebook. So if I were to make this a difficulty 0, it's considered a simple task. Nudging open a stuck door, following an unaware subject in the dark in a place you know intimately, or asking for a simple favor. A difficulty 1 is average, overcoming a simple lock, following an unaware subject in the dark, asking for a significant favor from a friend. Challenging is a difficulty 2, overcoming a complex lock, following a suspicious subject in the dark, asking for a favor that costs the benefactor something minor. A daunting is a difficulty 3, overcoming complex lock in a hurry, following a suspicious subject during the day, asking for a difficult favor from someone you already owe. A dire is a difficulty 4, overcoming a complex lock in a hurry without the right tools, following a suspicious subject in the daytime in the streets they know well, and asking for a complicated or expensive favor. And then epic is a difficulty 5, overcoming a complex lock in a hurry without the right tools during a battle, following a subject who knows they are being followed, knows you personally, and knows the streets, or asking a dangerous favor from a stranger. I would say, based on what these are saying. Yes, Justin?
Nope. I want to hear what you have to say first.
I was just going to say it was a difficulty 2 challenging, is what it sounded like. Asking for
Buddy,
a favor.
we are on the same page.
Yeah, that costs the benefactor something minor. So.
Yeah. My thing was, there's like a little bit of a quid pro quo here. There's stakes on both sides.
Yes.
Which totally prevents it from being a difficulty 3. Like, it's not that hard. Like, we're in a tense situation and things are good now, and he doesn't really want to do this, but like, there's some skin in the game.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay, so I think 2's pretty fair.
And like I said, this can be either from your character, Justin, Anna, or nice character, Sean.
What's your communicate?
Yeah.
So my communicate is 6. I also have a focus specialization in intimidate. Wait, no. Sorry. I was looking at self-believe the wrong character sheet. I'm so sorry. This isn't really deceit. So I have communicate 5, and I do have a specialization in deceit. But
You mean like a focus?
a focus in deceit, yeah.
So I have a
But
communicate.
I'm not really trying to deceive them, though. That's the thing. Like, if I'm being honest, right? We just had a conversation about like rolling dice with honesty. We need to have like conversations about, we get to pick drive and stuff like that. I mean, I wouldn't say that my focus applies.
So I have a
I'm not
communicate
being
of 6.
deceitful.
I have a focus of innuendo. So I can always just say something like, I would take this good deal while you still have a deal on the table.
Ooh.
Yeah.
And
Yeah. I'm
have-
totally happy with
I have
you
justice
taking
of 8,
Mm-hmm.
which we're
Fair,
straight
fair.
up dealing with smugglers. And my statement is justice isn't always fair. So
Mm-hmm.
sucks to be them. But
And justice is kind of the, this is the law of the land. Yeah, take it. No, roll with it. I think you got a better one on this one than I do.
okay. And since we have 4 momentum, just to be sure,
Spend it.
anyone opposed to me taking one,
No, spend it.
Cool.
Yeah.
Spend it with no shame. We blow it like cocaine.
And like you were saying, since you're using that innuendo, as long as you make it underneath whatever your target is, your roll target, you get 2 successes, not just 1, which is awesome.
Yeah, so I mean, theoretically, which is why I also don't feel bad taking momentum, is if all of these are under a 6, I would then gain 4 momentum.
Under a 6?
It should be higher.
No, it should be way higher than that. You should add your drive and the skill.
Yeah.
No. Then it's a pass. But if it's under a 6, it counts as a 1.
Oh.
Oh, you have like an increased crit range.
That's what the focus does, right?
Oh, is that what it is?
Focuses increase the character's chances of scoring a critical success on tests using skill. If a focus applies to the action your character is performing, such as short blades when using a knife, you score a critical success, 2 successes, on a dice roll equal to or less than your character's skill instead of a 1. So yes, now is correct. As long as it's under that 6, it will be.
So 14 is a pass, but anything under a 6 is a 1. 6 or under is a 1.
That's awesome. Well, yeah, you absolutely should roll.
Wow. Wow.
Yeah, wow, indeed.
Sorry, I'm being a computer. I'm metagaming the fuck out of this guy right now.
Yep, dude. No, just
You're calculating the risks.
Your beautiful mind, that shit. Do it.
Well, that did not work. One of them worked.
One of them was a success.
Remember, each of you have a point of determination.
That's just like, it lets me reroll one of them?
Yes.
Fuck it.
You can, normally it's before rolling, you can do an automatic 1, or you can re-roll after rolling.
I'll reroll one.
And hey, Mike, what's your like skill check number?
14.
Yeah, I'll spend. Can I spend mine to give him the reroll of the 15?
Oh, can you give it to other players? Let me double check.
So I didn't read that much into the rules. I'm sorry. I'm sorry to our viewers. Mea culpa. I'll get my hair shirt.
I don't think you can share determination. Unlike D&D's
Fair enough. No, that's the ruling on the field.
Just because it says you have a single point of determination for your character, but you gain more during
that's
play.
the ruling on the field. I totally respect it. Let's move on.
It's fine. Second one pass. I have 2 passes.
Great.
Well, assistance can happen here, actually, to improve the odds.
What
So
page
assistance
is
is when this is 150.
Great.
Game Master may limit how many characters may assist a given. This is a given skill test, though. So
wait a second. Wait. Oh no, not intimidation. Oh, all right. Sorry, I got confused.
Doesn't matter. I got 2 successes.
Well, yeah, but I will say, Justin, Anna could assist in this. So how this works, yes, Christian, thank you for pointing this out. On page 50,
Oh, but yeah, we should cover this mechanism while we're playing.
Yeah. Assistance is when
Let's
another
cover the
character
help.
actively
Yeah.
assists your action. The Game Master may limit how many characters may assist a given skill test. That makes sense. Each assistant selects a drive and skill to create a target number of their own based on how they are helping and rolls 1d20. It's just 1d20. Any successes they generate are added to the skill test you are attempting, so long as you score at least 1 success of your own. Any complications from anyone involved in the skill test apply to everyone. So, Justin, I would say this is still a communicate skill from you, unless you want to justify it in a different way.
What did you say? Communicate?
I would say so, unless you're doing
I'm okay with that.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm okay with
Will
that.
he still generate momentum if he passes?
I would say so.
if it's a difficulty 0.
Okay. Yeah. So duty here is, look. There's no need to have any kind of bad name. Like we in fact actively don't want the brand of thugs. Okay, we want reasonable people. We want a reputation as a reasonable people.
Yeah.
And this doesn't have to get really seedy underworld. This is just a simple contest over land rights. Okay, and we have things to consider. Anyway, so I think that my duty here can still be rolled as my drive. Because I also don't understand how, like, this isn't a power play. This isn't about, like, what's right and wrong. This is about what's just kind of like, this is in fact in spite of right and wrong for justice. And then faith, I don't understand. This isn't like I have the. I'm not sure how faith applies here. And then truth. This is again also irrespective, kind of how justice is irrespective here.
Yeah.
So I think that'll be 5 and 8 is 13. And I get to roll 1d20, huh?
Yep, just one.
So
Yeah, go ahead.
I'm gonna say this. I already passed. The only reason I bring this up,
Oh,
I rolled anyways. So now
Well,
we just get a
momentum
momentum.
Correct.
Yeah, so I mean, this goes towards the total of the person you're assisting, right?
Yes.
And I already
yeah.
passed.
Yeah, so this is great for like if it's going to be just a hard check and you're worried about it, even with buying an extra dice or whatever, or the max amount of dice you can buy, you can add the assist on top of that, as long as the game master allows it.
Which I do.
So in this situation, you know, but
and part of this was just to illustrate how the mechanic works.
Yeah.
Yep.
But keep in mind, you can add complications if you get a 20.
But there is risk, yes.
Yep.
Now, granted, that's a 5% chance.
Still 5%.
But it's
Still
still, it's a
5%?
non-zero number. So
Yeah.
And it's not. I mean, it's slight, but I mean, it's present.
It happens to both people or all people involved.
I do like that about the system here. Is momentum and threat are very kind of like yin and yang, kind of. It's just a way to keep the system moving or the story being told.
Yes.
Anyway, so yeah, one more momentum. Please mark us.
Yes, thank you
Good
for reminding
game
me.
master.
I was about to forget.
I mean,
replaces the one I wasted.
Spencer.
No, not wasted. That you spent without. Because I mean, that didn't cost us anything, right? Like I just got the help.
Knight did buy.
I used the momentum.
Yeah.
It's interesting too, because like this could be like maybe that
that was a free. Wait, wasn't sorry? Maybe I'm misunderstanding here. I thought what I was doing was helping with a free recovery of momentum.
Yeah. So basically, I would normally assistant should be when you're like rolling originally.
Yeah.
But we were adding the mechanic on top of that. I would say normally assisting is like before the rolls is done. And so before the roll was done, Nye had 2 dice to start with. Then he used a momentum to buy a third. But then you were helping as well. So that would have been 4 in total.
Well, if it doesn't count, it doesn't count. Who cares?
It does. It does. I'm rolling that it does. I am the game master. I am
Okay.
God Emperor.
All right. Well, I mean, I don't want special treatment. That's all.
I'm not giving you special treatment. We're learning the game. Anyways, Christian, what were you
Fair
saying?
enough.
Well, I think it's just interesting too, because you have to consider that, like, again, you know, this happens before you roll, but like, if it is a harder check and the game master has a lot of threat, and we're worried about him using that, then like these are things you have to weigh. Of like, okay, yeah, I do want to spend our momentum to buy a dice, but also I do want the assistance. Yeah. Like, so weighing like the risk with everything is really interesting, because and that's a way like he can continue, like, even if we make it more the odds of our success higher, Spencer can always come back, well, I'm spending this threat to make this a tighter, more tense situation, like in response to that, right? So it's really interesting. Anyway,
so with that, I like to think that that's Nye, the quote you said earlier from Shara, like, you might want to take this deal while you still have a deal on the table. That's kind of like what you say after everything that Anna kind of like says, well, both you kind of tag teaming this. And so Corbin kind of like places his hand on his chin and he looks down. And he looks back at the younger workers that he has, and a few of them kind of like nod like at him, like slightly. And he turns back to you guys and he goes, it's honest work. Really, we should be getting out of this business. Really, let me be thankful that not taking our heads for this. I think this will do us good, and especially these guys. Get them some good money and take care of themselves and their family.
Okay.
Okay. And
all right.
Here's the bill, and I give him whatever quick math of like. I don't even know what unit of currency dollars.
Credits.
Credit? Sure. Gold? I don't fucking know. But I give him however many units of currency.
Oh, they're also smugglers. We can take stuff in kind.
I like to think at this moment, Corbin starts to exchange some information about like contacting him and how he can like arrange like a payment and stuff with you, Shara. But at this moment, well, I should say, before this happens, what is Arachne kind of doing? Are you still like... I like to think that this isn't too far away. Like, you could listen into the conversation that's happening as you're on top of the outcrop. Yes, Justin?
Also, my character is ready to just pull the gun and shoot this guy in the head at any given second.
Okay.
Like, I'm not... I don't want to do that. Like, I'm not doing that.
The fact that Anna's wine drunk... as on top of the fact that she's just like ready to pull the trigger.
No. In character, Anna is not. Well, I mean, you know, she had breakfast and lunch, but like, she hasn't been really drinking the rest of the day, and no. Come on, this is a tense situation. And I feel like if Here in character.
Yeah.
Because apparently I have to justify this. Anna, again, is about preserving greater good.
Yeah.
At very messy costs.
Okay.
Just full Kissinger.
Perfect.
But the thing is in Anna's mind, if he becomes a real issue,
yes,
we off him, they're all just gonna probably become workers of ours to not get the same fate.
All right. So far,
it's like beating up the bully.
Yeah. So far, he seems to be pretty amicable with you guys because you were able to pass that communicate skill. So that's what he seems like so far. So you're in good hands. But I like to think that any moment, Anna's just ready,
also I have
ready
a sneak
to start
attack
blasting.
specialty.
Yeah.
I really do. I have a sneak attack specialty.
Oh, that's perfect. Okay, good. That's good to know.
So I just like I'm really happy with the way in character. Anna's very happy with the way things are going.
Great.
Anna would have preferred things to go this way.
Yeah.
Anna's ready to make a very stern action in a split second.
Okay. Back to Arachne. Arachne, I like to think that you aren't too far away that you could hear this happening, or even if you couldn't make out all the words, the four grouped up smugglers on the edge are whispering back to each other. Well, like kind of like under their breath, right? That you can at least hear their words communicating about like what just happened. And like maybe you overhear like, Corbin's made a deal. Made a deal with them?
We're probably shaking hands or something that we can
definitely.
see.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Doing the old on the forearm to check that there's no secret knife.
Yeah.
Yeah, so
that's where that forearm handshake comes from, by the way.
Ah.
Yeah.
Did you not know that, Spencer?
You know what? That was a detail in the book, right?
No, that's like a real thing from
It's a
medieval
real
knights.
thing?
Medieval knights would greet each other like way up near the elbow when they gave a handshake, and it's because if someone had a dagger up their sleeve,
You feel it.
You would grab it.
I just thought that
Yeah.
was
You'd be
like,
like, oh
Same
wow,
thing,
this
it's
guy has a
old
dagger
Greek
in his
tradition,
sleeve.
too.
I just thought
Because
that
you'd
was
hide a dagger in your bracers.
I just thought that was a thing that they started having manly men do in like action movies to like look cool, like, oh, we're grabbing forearms together.
No, that's like an old human thing.
That's cool.
Also, yeah,
Oh.
and that's why also handshakes are in a lot of cultures are done with left hand
Huh.
because that's shield arm.
Shield arm. Interesting. Huh.
Your left arm is your shield arm.
Yeah.
So greeting with the left arm is more friendly than greeting with the right.
That's cool. Well, then you guys are definitely like doing the open-handed checking knives,
Fun.
yeah, stuff like that. So
I mean, not to get like gross on a germ level, but
oh no,
I thought it was always just like, well, you would, well, that's not true. I
There
guess.
can be a lot of reasons
Like
for a
touch
lot of
hands?
things.
Yeah.
your hands
There
are
can be a
bloody.
lot
I
of
don't want
things
to
for a lot
touch
of
that.
things.
Well, yeah, I was
Anyway.
thinking just like dominant hand and like, but like a right hand would be dominant, right? So, if it was like bloody or whatever,
No.
if you're like
the left hand
swinging,
thing specifically also is Zulu culture.
Oh,
The big shields,
that's
and that
cool.
was a Zulu.
So
handshake left.
back to
Anyway.
Arachne. You see these
Back to our fantasy world.
Yeah, you see the knife checking handshakes going down. Maybe afterwards a few left-handed shakes, shield shakes. So
Yeah, there's daps and hugs going on.
yeah.
yeah,
You can remain hidden if you want. I just wanted to give you an opportunity to take an action or do something before the next scene happens.
yeah. I mean, since I'm able to observe that, I'm going to remain hidden.
Yeah.
And basically, what I'm going to do is, kind of position myself in a way that if I need to, spring on somebody, I can. Basically, take them hostage if I need to.
Yeah.
While still remaining hidden. So.
Cool. Well, perfect. So we have both Anna ready to kind of do a sneak attack based on her skills in order to do that, and we do have Arachne staying hidden on top of the outcropping, ready to take a hostage if needed. So while all this is happening, while the deals are being made, while Shara and Corbin are working out the details, and while you other two are kind of doing your thing, flying overhead at a low, like pretty close to the sand dunes, is another ornithopter, and it comes in real close, like buzzing over your heads, like they're making a show of it. It kind of flies really low over your heads, and it kind of like turns, so it's like facing you guys, and it looks over at you guys, and you can see like it has like a weapon mounted to the bottom of it, but it turns past you guys, looks at your ornithopter kind of out a little bit further out into the desert, and shoots a missile at it. Your ornithopter
I pull a
explodes.
gun right on his head. Be like, you got some explaining to do.
This isn't me, Corbin yells out.
Talk.
This isn't me. I don't know who they are.
Sorry,
Everybody into the cave.
I thought
And
Justin said he pulled his gun on the ornithopter or whatever.
no, it's too. Come on, it's a fucking
Corbin makes
pistol.
much
What the
more
fuck am I
sense to
gonna
pull
do?
the gun on. I thought you're pulling it like a handgun on like this fucking helicopter.
No,
like,
yeah, right, exactly. No, no, I like yoke him up, and I'm like, you got 2 seconds. He says, not me, and I'm like, everybody into the cave,
So
and I
yeah.
kick Corbin, and we're fucking going.
So Corbin and the other 3 smugglers down there are being escorted into the cave by Anna. Shara, are you following them, or what is everybody else doing right now? The ornithopter then starts to kind of land out in the desert. Like, closer than where, like, you guys parked, or, like, landed yours, but, like, still, like, just outside the camp.
I'm not opposed to going to the cave. I don't. Well, am I allowed to like make a check of some kind?
Oh yeah, can you request the check? What do you want to do? Why would
what
you
are you
need a
doing?
check? Mike, What are you doing that would require a check?
Yeah, what does Shara do?
I would like to look at this other ornithopter. I don't even know if I'm saying that
Ornithopter.
right. Ornithopter. I would like to look at it and see if it has any emblems, logos, if different houses have different colors, any marking
Yeah.
that would identify to a certain house, group, clan, etc.
Yeah. You know, I want to. I think this would still be discipline. We keep using discipline for a lot of checks that like involve kind of using your sight and like checking that. So let me double check to make sure, like, kind of like looking at this and kind of like looking. That would be what you would be using for this kind of like skill and everything. So skill. I'm at the skill test. Let me double check back in the character creation just what exactly that would be a skill towards. So let's see, those are drive statements. Dang, I was looking for it. There he is. Okay. So discipline describes a character's ability to influence and control their own mind and body, overruling instincts and atomic functions, as well as their ability to exert direct, overt influence over others through presence, force of will, and the power of authority. It also allows a character to focus and concentrate on a complex task, such as you picking a lock. Whereas understand would be understand describes a character's ability to take in and process information and to recall and apply that knowledge effectively at a later point. It also includes logical deduction and intuitive comprehension of situations, forming conclusions from perceived facts, as well as in-depth comprehension of academic, technical, or scientific knowledge. This would be an understand skill test, is what I would say.
Cool.
And for you, I'm going to say it's a difficulty of 1, just because the ornithopter is currently, like, moving, so it's a little hard. This normally wouldn't be that difficult of a test for you, but just because it's moving, it's a little chaotic right now, because it blew up your ornithopter, but it's landing. It's just going to be a difficulty 1.
Okay. I would like to think one of my focuses applies.
Oh?
That is deductive reasoning. And I will argue that deductive reasoning would immediately rule out things like, Cribg, they're probably not blowing us up. That's a safe bet.
Yeah.
Other houses that aren't really on the planet, probably not them.
Yeah. Who would do this?
Deductive reasoning would also immediately limit it down to, like, here's probably the prime suspect. So if there's like two
also not random pirates, because if it was just random pirates, they probably would have just murked us all and then taken the goods and left.
I mean,
so I feel like
honestly, that's what I would do if I was like a coke dealer and I'm like, oh, okay, cool, like I got half my crew rolling through here, or like I knew this whole like big pickup was going down, and I got muscle enough to do this. I'm going to go in, leave no survivors, and be out.
Yeah. That definitely applies. No.
Which may say something about me, but...
Well, I got a 17, which, regardless of what I add, probably fails.
Yeah.
But, I got a 6, which is a pass.
Yeah.
And it is tied with my deductive reasoning focus, meaning that 6 qualifies as a 1. So not only do I pass the DC 1 or difficulty 1 check, I also generate 1 momentum.
Hooray! Awesome. So I like to think there's chaos going down. You know, they just blew up your ornithopter, but they're not directly attacking you guys right now. It's starting to land. You over here, as Anna's asking Corbin, like you need to explain. He goes, "This isn't me." You look up, and your mind starts processing. Okay, this has to be a house that is currently here, that's flying in to take spice. It's probably a house that disagrees with you. It's unlikely that it's Harkonnen, because they're the ones who gave you the contract, unless they're betraying you right now. and that's when you probably see a flash of the
The
house's
tacit.
color. What is the color or the symbol or the decoration of House Tacit?
Oh, I don't know if we talked about this in our.
I don't
No,
know
we
if you
didn't.
did
That's
that.
why I'm asking.
Well, wasn't
You know the turd emoji?
If it,
uh,
yeah,
well, didn't they have like? Wasn't the whole thing? Do they have a heritage of like having like twin leaders or something? Or they have like, what was that
Oh,
backstory?
so
that
yeah. So for our audience, the history of the Apkergy and the Tacit House
yeah,
goes back as far as recollection can go, and that the Apkergy House assumed dominance over the area when two twin brothers were born, and one used a poison to slay the other for control of the region.
Which the
The
only
ab-
proof that they have
Yep.
that this happened is like old mosaics, like
Yeah.
Egyptian hieroglyphs,
yeah, it's been
that kind of maybe look like the poison was represented in the photo, in the hieroglyph or whatever, by a spasticato, which is dominated and produced by House of Crimgy.
which is a notoriously non-toxic plant, as everybody loves it as an accoutrement to salads and other foods.
Oh. So what were their colors? I mean, like, if you want my suggestion, maybe it's like a royal blue of some sort.
Sure, I don't care.
Oh no! What are our colors?
I thought it was like a purple. A couple of you
I
were using
thought-
like a purplish colors.
like a
Mm.
violet,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah, it was like the fuchsia. It was like a fuchsia because that's what color the flowers are, and we secretly use the flowers
Ultraviolet.
as our it's a fuchsia. But like red is actually much more common. So the fact that it's like a purpley red is perfect.
Yeah, we'll go with that.
And what is so that theirs would be some sort of green.
Probably
Hold on,
cute green, something ugly.
Cute
Yeah,
green?
no, yeah. Well, so actually, what I was looking at is I was thinking what would be really fun is using the color wheel and
Picking the
typing in
opposite?
opposite of fuchsia.
Let me pull up Adobe Color
Oh, it's a
Wheel real
lime
quick.
green.
A lime green?
A lime green is the complement color to fuchsia.
Oh, that's perfect. Great.
Hell yeah.
Yeah, there
fuchsia,
it is.
magenta, lime green. Yeah.
Yeah, there's purple and the lime green. There it is. Okay, great. So,
Which is ironically the color of the interior of the fruit of the spazzacado,
ooh.
not the flower.
Ooh.
Wow.
So,
Yeah. It's all just coming up at the top of my head, man. We're saying yes and.
yes, I love it. So,
And
the Orenthal, so I like to think, I don't know, the Sharfell, I would imagine you immediately share it with Anna next to you.
Well, yeah, I mean, as we're, I assume, sprinting to the cave,
Yeah.
I'm like yelling, "Hey, toss!" I literally just like toss it. Just like don't even explain anything else. Just like toss it.
So, we'll probably leave off
fair.
this session with the Tossits having their force exiting out of the Ornithopter and starting to march towards the tents that are down below in front of the caves. They're marching their way there. And so you two, Anna and Shara, are with Corbin and the three smugglers in the caves, while Arachne is up on top of the outcrop with the 4 other smugglers. So, did I say slaves? I meant smugglers. All of the smugglers. They're smugglers. So,
Yeah.
that's where you guys are. And
Okay.
that's where we'll pick up next week when we kind of see
Fine.
what happens in this adventure. So, yeah.
Woo!
How are you guys
Hell
feeling?
yeah.
How do you have any questions about that so far? Was everything going making sense?
Yeah, actually, this is a super fun game.
Good.
Way more fun than I thought it was going to be.
Yeah.
Playing it helps a lot. At least for me, like the character, I
Yeah.
thought the character sheet for this game is the most confusing character creation of any RPG that I've played.
Yeah.
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 Which it doesn't feel like it should be now that I'm like playing. Maybe it's the way that the guide is like built. I don't know. I was super confused. Now that I'm playing, I feel like it makes a lot more sense.
Yeah.
Interesting you said that, because that was my feedback last session, was that I got screwed up when I started making my character, because I went like from the first few pages down, when like it was just the order of things, and the core rulebook was like weird.
It was
And
before the
so,
steps.
yeah,
It was like
to,
explaining things, and then it went to the steps to make your character. But
like the different ways you can make them. Yeah.
Yeah.
And I was like,
I think also for me,
that's
it's
weird.
somewhat confusing because you have a drive, and you have a skill, and you have a focus, and you have a talent, and all 4 of those words in my head mean the same fucking thing.
yeah, that exactly.
Oh. Well,
So I looked on the color wheel. It is actually wait, where's the?
I have it up
I'll
on my
put it in the
screen
play
too.
chat. This is the actual hex complement.
Yeah, what's the hex code?
The that's the hex code right there. It's in the player chat.
Oh, I can't bring it up. But I'll bring it up after.
Oh, well, how do I put it in like the little chat here?
No, I just can't look it because I have your cameras on my screen.
Oh, there we go. Bam.
It's 9FE2BF.
Okay.
And I can also give you the RGB numbers.
Yeah,
Oh no, how do I? Dang it! I'm on Adobe, and I'm trying to figure out.
it should be in the live stream chat.
There it is. Okay,
actually.
hold on. So hashtag what?
9FE2BF.
2B.
It's seafoam green,
There it is. I found it. So
and that's supposed to be, and that's based on like
no. That's fine.
that's off some like art college's website. So like the art college says it. I'm like, okay, cool.
Whatever you
Which is
just
weird,
did,
'cause actually some of the
our stream just got fucked up. Whatever
I know.
you did.
I messed it up. Here we go. We're fine now. We're good.
Which is
Everything's
crazy,
fine. We're
'cause-
fine here. How are you?
The opposite of deep green is actually almost like it's like eggshell, like almost like a cream.
Ew.
And then what's really crazy is that the discrepancy between there's this like weird brief period where it goes from like white to black in between red and purple.
Oh.
All right, do you want to do our thank yous or our
Yes.
Oh
accolades or
shit, are we
whatever?
still streaming?
Yes,
Oh my
we
God.
are, Justin.
Yeah.
That's okay. Thank you for listening for this long. As we start rambling about Tacit's colors and seafoam greens and whatnot, we thank
Fuck
you
those
for
guys.
we thank you for staying this long, listening to us ramble. I'm very. It's just to go back to our conversation real quick. It's very interesting because I frequent our RPG subreddit on Reddit, and there was just a discussion about like reviewers and talking about like how much do you need to play in order to like review something, because it seems to be the poster in this post seemed to think that it seemed to be pretty common that people would only read the rulebook and then post about their review, which they thought was interesting. I really like that we play it for several weeks, and then we always do a post-campaign discussion because, I feel like we could always give more time with a system. But like you said, Nye, I feel like reading how to do something and playing something are two different things, and it's nice to kind of
if you had me read the Dune rulebook and said, "Do you want to play this?" I would say no.
Yeah, but in practice, it's super fun.
Yeah. And now that you know this system, like every other like Modiphius IP that they do. So that's pretty cool.
Well, and the system's not all that crazy. It's like, so how do we play? And you'd be like, hey, you aware of the sport of golf?
Yeah.
Yeah. Cool. So you know how lower's better? Yeah.
So there you go.
Same. Well, how do I know what I need to get? That number, you see how there's like 10 numbers on your character sheet?
Yeah. That
number. Done.
There you go.
This is actually it's very appropriate, I think, for what like all the Dune lore and everything, with like being able to get so into all the lore that I'm like aware of, because of there's
Very
a lot
narrative.
of Dune literature out there.
Yeah.
But anyway,
All right.
So with
let's do
that,
our thank yous.
Some more thank yous.
so
Thank you to everybody.
thank you to everybody who's listening and who's watching. We just passed 100 subscribers, and that made me really happy. So thank you to
Yes, we're
all
very
100
grateful
of you
for that.
on YouTube. So thank you.
Like the 105.
105.
The 105 of you.
Specifically.
All 105 of you.
It's the last
No,
6 of you that
I'm
I
serious.
really care about.
I'm serious. The all 105 of you.
Yeah.
We're really grateful to all of your support. We're so happy that you guys are happy with our content. We're gonna keep rolling it out.
Yeah.
As long as you're liking it, we'll keep making it. So,
And if you don't like it, we'll still probably keep going.
Yes.
yeah,
Exactly.
just right down your throat with it.
Yep.
We prefer it if you like it, though. We like feeling loved.
We like the like.
Mm-hmm.
So, thank you to Modiphius for making the Dune RPG. We're very excited to kind of put this into practice and play it. We want to thank fun_lucky for the background we used today. It is called namibia, Namibia. You can check the description. We posted the description. Namibia. Yes, that. Thank you to Clean Mind Sounds for providing the music, Dune ambient cinematic. You've been hearing it in our break little videos and stuff like that, and before and after the stream. Thank you to Roll20, our virtual tabletop. That's what we were using today to control and to present the scene. And of course, thank you to Hero Forge. Like always, you provide our miniature art and the beautiful stuff we use for animations. Huge thank you to you too. That's all the thank yous that I got. So I believe there is still a Humble Bundle going on for the Dune RPG. Please check it out. It's only $18 for like every single book they put out. It's a really good deal. You get to play
Seriously,
this. Yeah.
That's a really good deal.
Yeah.
Like this right here was worth $20.
Yeah, we're talking.
Bro, one fucking D&D book's like what, $50-$60 these days?
Yeah.
I mean, but the fun I had playing tonight, like I had a little help, but no, this was easily worth $20 worth of entertainment. Yeah. And if you can help this company keep doing kind of interesting stuff like this, I will go buy it after this session.
Yeah. There's a ton of just different smaller adventures. It includes the core rulebook and includes like Worm Design, this quick start that we're playing. It includes Agents of Dune, which is like their starter set. It's a deluxe starter set. The fact that it's normally never under $65 and you can get it in this for $18 is amazing. And then there's even a whole campaign book called Masters of Dune that takes place after the starter set. So that's like 4 things, and then like like 10 other adventures that it also includes. Very good deal. Very, very good deal on Humble Bundle. It's going till I can't find the date right now. 6 days. We got 6 days from today, so it's only till the 20th. So make sure you get it before then. So, but anyways, that's our thank yous. That's everything else. Let's sign off. Thank you for tuning
We
in.
love you all,
Love y'all. Have a good night. Bye.
and you're welcome.